Theater of the Mind is for adults' ears only. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome to Theater of the Mind presents Retribution. This is episode 45. My name is Dillon, and I'm your host for this evening. And joining me today is...
My name's Amanda, and I am playing Mel Kelly.
My name's Jeremy. I'm playing Elliot Brandybane.
My name is Bernal, and I play the wonderful Olnak Vaga Johnson.
Hello, my name is Downs, and I'm playing James O'Brien.
I'm Kasey, and I play Emery Lee.
And I'm Mike, and I play everyone else.
If you are not familiar with my voice, that's because this is my first time recording on the podcast. I'm usually on the other side of the mic, documenting the adventures of the party, but as we wrap up the Colorado arc, we thought that this would be a good time to ask the cast some questions in order to get to know the players and characters a little bit more. So we'll get started right off the bat, y'all, with there have been some listeners who just would like to know what the inspirations were for some of your characters and how you were inspired to choose the characters you chose during.
What were those listeners' names so we give them a shout out before we move on?
I can't remember.
Patreon user Bone Apple Titties.
Nice! Fucking
AKA
love that
Tyler.
name.
Okay, Tyler, yeah. Provider of the dinosaurs.
Bone apple titties. Like it.
Do we have to go in order, or can whoever has
just
an
hop
answer
in.
to the question first go first?
we can popcorn it.
Oh, thank God!
Who-
Because some of those questions I still don't have answers for.
So the first question is, what was the inspiration for your characters?
I'll start off. Elliot Brandybane. I grew up on a ranch in rural Colorado, and then I spent 16 years in the oil field. Elliot Brandybane is an amalgamation of one or two family members of mine, friends and neighbors that I grew up with, and people that I worked with in the oil field. Some of them good friends of mine, others memorable personalities, and I've tried to pull them together into the persona of Elliot Brandybane. I tell my wife Amanda, yep, I just channel things that I heard and witnessed over the years, and when I get in the Elliot mood, and unfortunately, Elliot is a lot of me without a filter, so that's why I picked him for this podcast. He's one of my more interesting characters that I have in my head, and he's also one of the easiest for me to play, and he's also one of the. There's not much you can't throw at Elliot that I don't know how. It's not necessarily how I would react, but I know how Elliot would react.
Yeah.
And so that was my inspiration when Shock wanted to put the game together. I have been a forever DM for 10 years. This has been my first opportunity to actually just be a player, and in a campaign that lasted longer than a couple of sessions. Yeah. And so I really wanted to bring of all the characters I had in my head, he was the one I wanted to hit with because I could run him the best under all circumstances.
Yeah, being able to fully embrace the multiple roles that you may have lived or you may have watched other people live come to light. Yeah.
He's also a recurring character in our home games. Usually,
for the listeners at home, Elliot Brandybane is in fact a 96-year-old wizard. Unfortunately, when the premise of of Theater of the Mind Retribution, when it was pitched to us, I could not make a 96-year-old man walk across the United States.
That's a big ass. He's got a point.
I couldn't do it. I can make a 60-year-old cowboy do it because I've known 70-year-old cowboys that were tough enough to do it. I've known men that could. So. Yes, in fact, actual Elliot Brandybane is a 96-year-old wizard who's a little more curmudgeonly than our beloved Ranger is. But I could not make him work with this storyline. He wasn't hard to change to where I'm at.
Yeah.
but he had to dial back the condescension a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only a little.
He usually helps us with
Take it
issues
from a
with
10 to like
runes.
an 8.
He could dial that back a little more, Elliot.
So
Notice James is quite on that.
What?
My headphones aren't on.
Well, I can go next. Emery to me is kind of, it's a lot of myself because I have an easier time grounding characters in a fantasy world than in the real world for some reason. So when I was trying to come up with a character for this podcast, a lot of myself ended up bleeding through. There are a lot of changes that have occurred, but I am from Fort Morgan. You know, I ended up in Grand Junction. I did not pursue art, but I thought about it.
Okay.
So Emery ended up kind of as an amalgamation of a lot of the different paths that my life could have taken, but didn't.
yeah, that's awesome. I love how so much inspiration right now is coming from personal stories and personal experiences.
I turned into James because it's impossible for me not to make a pun at some point. So that just became
That's true.
James's
He cannot
personality.
not make a pun.
Yeah,
it's not
it's true.
possible.
He tries to make these serious, stoic characters, and immediately it goes out the window every time.
So, kind of on that note with Kasey, Mel Kelly she's in many ways completely the opposite of me, and I did that intentionally as in a form of acting to try to be somebody that I'm absolutely not. But at the same time, she's also everything that I never let myself be.
Is that easier or harder?
Oh, it's totally hard. I hate people thinking that I'm stupid, so it is really hard to play really stupid. But the complete lack of thinking things through all the way is also I'm an overthinker. So it's that contrast. But Mel is the person that could have gotten away with all of the things that I actually wanted to do, but never did because I knew I'd get caught.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I kind of botched the assignment at first.
At least you're honest.
Which explains my weird ass name. So I just named a D&D character, and I was like, I'll just wing it from there, right? And then I thought we were gonna start in the D&D world for some reason. I had it backwards, right? Like I didn't realize we were regular people, so I named Olnok first, and then I was gonna come up with the character. So the Olnok's weird name and the fact that he's somewhat Norse is because I found the word Vaga and I thought it was cool, and I gave him the last name of Johnson to kind of just make him not from some other place, right?
The Destroyer.
The Destroyer of Johnson. A joke. How did I miss that, you guys?
Yeah, considering the volume of
12-year-old
conversation,
Navy guy missed the dick joke. Really?
the amount of conversation you and I had about Olnok to make him make sense.
I know.
Because initially it was, oh shit, I gotta change his name, and I'm like, honestly, having an Olnok's kind of fucking funny.
Let's roll with that. Yeah.
Just give him a real last name.
Yeah.
And we completely ignored that his name is Olnok the Destroyer Johnson.
Yeah.
And it meaning anything.
Yeah. It was too many things that happened at once.
Yeah.
But what he I did want him to be kind of a military background, and some of the character that I created for the D&D verse is basically what I wanted Olnok to be in the first place. However, some of his backstory and tragedy that he's been through is based on what I think my life could have possibly been had I served my full 20 years in the Navy and had to have gone through the same mental anguish that I did in fact go through without ever going to therapy and possibly heavily self-medicating with alcohol and ruining my marriage. Because that second part already kind of happened, even though I wasn't married, right? But it didn't go as bad as I was thinking it might, so I just took it farther, right?
Yeah.
I was like, here's how bad this could be. Let's see how sad I can make him, because I'm a masochist, I guess.
No, that is the first thing you learn in making characters is to give them trauma.
Yeah.
It helps. It's really hard to come up with an excuse as to why you'd go off and save the world.
Yeah.
If there's no trauma. I came from a happy home. Let's go.
My life is great.
Yeah,
Let's throw everything behind and
you
save
need
everyone
someone
else.
that's willing to leave their life behind to do something absolutely insane.
Yeah, no sane person is going to go from modern technology to then ride cross country on a horse to go save the
I feel
world.
like I also need to point out, Mel's all tech savvy and shit. I don't. know any of this.
Yeah.
Don't talk to me about TikTok. I've never had an Instagram. I am full on Facebook granny over here.
Right.
Very much completely opposite of Amanda Arfsten.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, and that's part of why I wanted Old Knock to have a military background. It's something I was familiar with. It's something that I knew, especially with the character being in the Navy and etc. I'd be a recruiter. All of it made sense in my head of how it could play out. And it would give me more freedom to kind of improvise as we went, being a new player and having to learn new mechanics anyway. So I'd have some experience with what I was talking about. Yeah. So the whole, he's divorced and he's never going to see his daughter again, was just kind of there. That didn't happen to me, but I feel like it could have. Especially if I just stayed in the Navy and never gotten therapy. But, just kind of moving through that direction. It's not based on anybody in particular other than what I think my life could have possibly become. So there are some similarities to what I actually went through, but I'm not calling anybody out. I want that to be clear. So anybody who might listen to this, who might think it's about them, it's not. It's a fantasy. I made it up. And I made it really sad for myself for some reason. It's not a good fantasy for me.
You're so vain. You probably think this character's about
It's Bernal in an alternate universe.
Yes.
Now we need to ask the DM what.
Oh, we
Wait,
haven't
I was gonna say,
gotten
what about James?
to
James.
announce
Sorry,
it.
sorry.
I made James for puns, and that was his end. That was it.
Yeah.
James is punny.
It was inadequate. Try more.
but before we get to the DM, I have a side question for Bernal.
Yeah.
As one of the, I believe this is your first time playing D&D.
That is
ever.
correct. I've never played before.
What was that like, jumping straight into a D&D podcast?
I mean, Mike and I had talked about a podcast before that was going to be D&D related, so I had an idea of what we might want to do.
Okay.
I played outside of this podcast. I had played once with the band,
session.
a single session that went
Awful.
very poorly.
Okay. Yeah.
So and it's not like I learned everything. I didn't know anything. I just knew okay, we got to roll for stuff. And I'd listen to Dungeons and Daddies. That was my D&D experience.
no.
Yeah.
Which is very loose D&D. I am aware.
Shout out to Dungeons and Daddies.
know,
Dungeons
right?
and Daddies.
I did. I really enjoyed the first. Anyway, before I get off topic, reel them in, get them back. All right. But yeah, I mean, it was kind of. At first, it was a little intimidating because I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. But everybody here is experienced, so I got to kind of ask questions as we were going along. I tried to keep it off mic as much as possible, But after I am loud. If that's a surprise to anyone listening,
Everything went much better once you learned what a D20 was.
yes, yes, this is true. I rolled the D12 instead of the D20. Fucking a lot. It was
And
really
now
a problem.
He has a suite of a very large D20s,
There's-
so he can never
Yes,
get them mixed up again.
There's no way to mix them up because they are the largest dice I have.
Hey, Dipstick, use this one.
Use the big one.
The
Throw the
really
rock.
big
Yeah.
one.
Well, and so I didn't come onto the podcast team until probably the episode 20s.
Yeah.
But I've listened to you guys basically from when you first started, and I think there is such a wonderful benefit in having you as a new player into a D&D podcast.
Yeah, it's kind of the audience stand-in, so the audience can kind of get a grasp.
Right.
of
Yeah,
what's
yeah,
going
It's
on,
like
too.
sometimes we'll explain some stuff just because I don't get it, and it might help some people who aren't super familiar with D&D understand what's going on. I think that's important.
Yeah, and I DM a couple of tables, and this podcast, now I'm of course biased, is such a wonderful introduction for new players to get their feet wet, and I really give that credit to you, Bernal.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm glad that's helpful, honestly, because I'm just kind of winging it and hoping for the best, and it's worked out so far. I mean, I'm still alive.
I feel like that's D&D in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Yes.
Basically.
Well,
But
that
it's
was kind
fun.
of our
Yeah.
goal, was to actually play D&D
Yeah.
in an interesting fashion. Unlike Dungeons and Daddies, where they tell a fun story.
D&D flavored fun.
Yeah, exactly. Without being Critical Role, where there's so much D&D
So crunchy.
that, fucking good luck, Chuck. It's dense.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on. I haven't listened to Critical Role myself, but I have heard if you're not really understanding of D&D, it can be kind of a hard listen.
Well, it's a good show, but it's not
Yeah.
a place to learn the game.
That's fair. Okay.
There's a lot of
Okay.
Yeah. It's an entertainment.
It's a lot of table talk,
It's like
a lot of
watching a
downtime.
story, and it's great.
One of their season finales was like 8 hours long.
Oh my god.
And
Most
they
of their
don't edit.
episodes are
They live
They
stream.
role played that
Oh, okay.
whole thing.
I mean, we've played
Which is
finales that
cool.
are 8 hours long, but we brought pizza.
We took a break halfway through.
We took breaks.
So Downs, tell us more about James.
Yeah.
Do it.
Now.
I was really hoping we'd just skip
No.
that.
No. Why is James James? I want to know. The inquiring minds. All right.
James is essentially just me, but with sticky fingers.
All right.
And kind of like the
You're gonna have to more. But
well, as
I'm a
everyone,
thief. I travel across the country.
I steal
yeah.
stuff.
Like I said, without the sticky fingers, so I don't have to travel cross country. No, James is essentially what I would be if I actually act out on the impulsive thoughts.
But the intrusive thoughts win, huh? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, so
most of the
maybe
time they bite him in the ass.
So maybe Downs needs to hear this too. Not all attention is good attention.
Yeah. James is my internal monologue.
Because it's two Kronk, Angel, and Devil going right in the... Good stuff.
What about for our DM? What was your inspiration with
Immortar.
Moritar? Words are hard. Excuse me, listeners.
Before we get to a Moritar, I want to know what was his inspiration for the first game or the first campaign he ever DM'd to, hey, let's record this and make a podcast out of it.
Oh yeah, that's
because it is his first time DMing.
This is our DM's first campaign that he has ever DM'd.
yes.
And I'm impressed as hell because I've DM'd a long time and my first one was awful.
Okay. So to synthesize that question, what was your inspiration to record your first record your first campaign, and what was your inspiration behind a Moritar?
So the first camp, this was an idea I had like years ago. Bernal and I were in a band together.
Yes. Bro, it was a
It
minute.
was a hot minute. And it was back when I first started listening to D&D campaigns. So this would have been, I had just started listening to the Adventure Zone, the OG podcast. And before I had ever played D&D, I was like, this sounds really easy. Like he's just making shit up. I can make shit up. And the very, very original one was the concept of a magical nuke going off. And a quest to undo the nuke, basically. The undead stuff wasn't necessarily a part of the original idea. It was just going to straight up be America turned D&D land. And it was going to be the band we were in a couple of different times. Only one of which you could ever listen to. Shout out to Nancy.
Yeah.
But
It's the iteration of like 4 different bands. But
Yeah.
the same people. Yeah.
yeah. At the end of Kronos is never actually recorded anything you can hear anywhere, but we got Dead Nancy recorded.
I could release files. You don't know.
Well, that we want people to hear.
I could remaster it. You don't know. I have new skills now.
Our shit was pretty rough.
Yeah, it was pretty rough.
We didn't know what we were doing.
I had no clue.
But a Moritar, honestly, I just wanted... He's kind of just I didn't want him to be the most personality interesting bad guy. He's a very generic bad dude who's doing bad shit because he's bad. Because I think we see a fair amount of that in the world, and it'd be kind of cool to actually be able to beat one of them. That's pretty much a Moritar's. I wanted the side characters or the mini bads to be the more interesting ones on the way.
Yeah.
Moritar's gonna be cool as hell. He's a tough son of a gun, and he's evolved a lot in my head since. But
Tell me more about Oop Ogie one.
Ubash Uganda.
Mel's trying to get
to
secrets.
find the question.
Where'd you get the names for like any of these guys?
Moritar, I went to Elf to English translator app. And I just started throwing words at the wall until something came out that sounded like a name. A Moritar, I think, if I remember correctly, genuinely translates to retribution or bringer of retribution or
that's cool.
something.
Oh, that's
in
cool.
one of the Elvish apps I used fucking 4 years ago.
I know, whatever. Yeah,
That's cool.
that's still cool.
You've been sitting on the name Amoritar for that long?
We've been recording for
We've been
2
recording
of those
for
4
a
years.
while, Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like that half the
If
time.
if there is a listener who knows that Elvish language, please send us a DM.
Yeah,
that'd be great, yeah.
Because I don't remember what app I went to. It's been a long time. And same thing with I think Uboguan was like Eldritch translator or something.
Yeah.
And I honestly I don't remember what it translates to anymore. Because he's changed in my head substantially on what his lore is from when I first brought Ub in. But I can't tell you much more than that.
Punched him.
You punched him, broke his nose, changed his whole character.
I did.
I-
I did.
I think that goes into the second question that I want to ask y'all. What was the most memorable moment from the Colorado arc thus far?
Most memorable or your favorite? Or your least favorite?
Most memorable, least favorite, most favorite. However you want to interpret the question.
I think a lot about the cathedral in the mountains
I was going to say the same
and
thing.
how intense and unsettled the entire table was the whole time.
Yes.
Yeah, it's so much
Like
fun.
we were
God, it was so much
upset.
fun.
Well, no, the worst part is like a month later, I'm re-listening to it before our next session, and it gave me anxiety all over again, and I knew what was going to happen.
Yeah, I worked nights most of the time by myself in buildings. I couldn't listen to that episode. It was making me so like anxious and uptight about like every little itty bitty little sound that happened in
and
the
we
building.
felt like that before Shock added music to it.
Yeah, no, when he added
yeah, that was
the
the first
heartbeat,
time
it
you
only
used the
got
button.
worse.
Yeah.
No, that wasn't even the
No,
the first
we didn't have
Oh, the
music.
very
in
first
that
one?
No, we didn't
cathedral.
have
Okay,
anything.
that's why it wasn't so memorable for me. I was on a particularly bad bout of insomnia, and I was fucking asleep for half the episode. I don't
No,
mean
this
to
is
tell
the
everybody
first
that
Red
was facts.
Robes
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Yeah.
the
It
High
was-
Patron Matron.
From what I remember, it was very high tension, but I was not.
and
The
the
rest-
werewolf turn and all of that.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a very full, like, 2 episodes.
Even
Yes.
before we knew the owners of said cathedral, I was already on edge.
Yeah,
And then
no,
we walked
we
into
were
like the
all-
main cathedral and we saw like the banners and the tapestries with the iconography, like, oh shit,
Yeah.
kind of moment.
My follow-up that I think about all the time is the Frozen Dead guy. But
So fun.
it's a little less pivotal.
I was literally just talking about that with my partner on the truck. I was like, because I was like looking it up for the Stanley Hotel because I was like, no, it's a real thing. And like I started talking about we fought him in the D&D campaign, and it was a fun.
I love Frozen
that on
Grandpa.
the fly battle is one of my favorite
It was
battles.
such a wild, genuine Google moment of what the
Like,
fuck?
this is real.
Why do they have this?
I talked to somebody who went to the Stanley Hotel this spring during spring break, and I asked him, I'm like, oh, did you go on the Frozen Dead guy tour? And they're like, no, it was so expensive. But the fact that the fact that they responded as a like, yeah, I was interested.
Like, oh, thank God we're not nuts.
Yeah,
it
right.
really is
Because I had
real.
this
I
moment of
just
like,
looked it
maybe
up
we did
yesterday.
make it up. Maybe we were all
Yeah,
hallucinating.
that's kind of cool. We got to not only did we get to go for free, we got to meet the guy in person.
Whipped his ass. Fuck
Yeah,
undead grandpa.
I thought it was kind of cool.
Abominable grandpa. That's right.
Yep.
He should have messed around. We had to kill him.
I have to be honest, it's not it's not like the coolest thing that happened or even the most memorable or heartwarming or anything, but I'm never going to forget the tone in Emery's voice when she said, you can lick anything now.
Yes.
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 We've got some fantastic lines. Yeah, you can lick
That's a
anything.
good one.
That was good.
You can lick anything now.
That was an honest response from yours truly.
That was an absolute, like, why do I always have to babysit the morons tone of voice?
You know, I think one of the scariest lines that Shock ever says is, "Oh shit, he has multi-attack."
That has never once worked in my advantage.
No,
Ever.
that's never turned out well for any of us.
Would those be the least memorable or least favorite moments?
They're definitely memorable.
Oh, the multi-attack moment's my least favorite by far. Yeah.
Just
But
upsetting.
anytime we open a door and Olnak has not raged, and he's generally the first one up.
Yeah. I eventually I'll learn from that mistake. I think one
That's
of
what you
my
keep saying.
I have a few favorite moments, but for different themes. Like my favorite comedic moment, I just had in my head, and then my ADHD kicked in, and it fucking left.
It'll come back.
Quick, listen to the whole thing. You'll find it.
Yeah, it's only like fucking 80 hours of content.
Yeah. I just had it, and then I started talking about something else. God damn it.
God, that's a lot.
I mean, there was the singing decapitation.
Yes,
That was pretty
fun.
awesome.
That's not my favorite comedic moment. It was something. Oh God, why don't okay, I'll jump to a different favorite moment then, because it was a pivotal moment, and it was one of those like, oh shit, this is about to go down type moments. Like James's, I'm gonna distract the zombies.
Yeah, no shit.
That went so horrifically wrong, so fast.
Talk about an anxiety-inducing moment with the beans.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then somehow miraculously that shit works. That was it was fantastic.
Through
That
the
was a
grace
roller
of our
coaster.
DM,
Yes.
it worked.
Yeah.
And a nat 20 on a luck roll.
Hey,
There was several
several
natural
look the
20s
gift horse in
involved
the
in
mouth. We take the prize, okay?
No,
So
I
much
just
of
want
those
to call
beans
it out
could've gone wrong.
because it is much appreciated that our DM let that
Yes,
slide.
I'm glad you let that one go because the horde is supposed to definitely. James
Yeah.
should be dead.
Oh,
Oh,
he's
yeah,
super dead.
absolutely.
He's zombie poo.
You know, but sometimes the natural 20 makes miracles.
Yeah.
It does.
It wasn't only that, like the freaking Cadbury eggs could have killed me. The shrooms themselves that brought me back to life could have killed my
The
ass.
end could have been evil and attacked
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, the end could have been evil. Yeah, the gigantic creatures could have turned on me and kicked my ass.
So that's the episode
The
we're
dog
calling
spiders
Crack Around
was
and
one of
Find
my
Out.
favorite
Oh,
funny moments.
I
we were
hope
all
so.
scared of them.
The what?
The dog-sized spiders.
Oh, yeah.
In the little tavern
That
when we
one
got
was fun.
separated because.
Oh yeah, with the
Canonically,
human
Olnock
spider.
would be an
Yeah.
arachnophobe like me, and it was fun to pretend.
Don't do that.
Yes, so good. Oh,
Yeah, every character I've ever played in DM is an arachnophobe because I am arachnophobic and I cannot
I don't
hide
gotta
that.
be brave around giant spiders. Are you fucking with me, dude? There's no way.
Listen, when the freaking spider is also part human,
Yeah.
that's terrifying.
Why was that less scary for Olnock than the dog spider? Because it had a spider face, maybe?
Maybe.
The spider face is more scary than the people face?
Yeah.
I don't know. I was only able to be brave enough to talk shit. That's all I needed to do.
Jeremy, what about you? What was your most memorable moment thus
Well,
far?
honestly, the most memorable moment was the Citadel with the red robes, and
Yeah.
that was just it was some fantastic horror storytelling. You pulled off telling a mundane story that was just enough off that you couldn't put your finger on why it's wrong, but your emotion said this isn't right. I think your tone, your speaking tone, was really a key part of that. To pull off a horror theme is you've got to take a mundane everything everybody's used to, and you gotta put it out of phase, just a scotch. And if it's too far out of phase where it's obvious, then it just becomes comedic or just a caricature.
goofy. Yeah.
So to pull off the really anxiety inducing is hard to do, and you pulled that one in spades. Okay, and I knew what you were doing, and it like bastard, that's good. I wish I could pull that off.
The screams in the distance. Not only that, each of us heard something different happening during our watches.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was
Like someone heard a scream, then somebody saw the two monks dragging somebody out.
right. It was just a constant
fucking
build.
painting
It was
with the
great.
eyes.
Yeah, that was
The
fun.
reassuring smile that you
remember
kept
that.
giving us that was not reassuring, that actually helped us out a lot as far as making us anxious and nervous.
And we all kept failing insight checks too,
Yes.
which went a pretty long way too in helping to make that unsettling. Because
There's no
we
more
couldn't even
bossing
like.
sense.
Exactly. There is no more bossing sense.
But so for memorable, I still so far of the podcast, that's been the most memorable. Honestly, my personal favorite for enjoyable that I actually enjoyed role playing, both of them were involving Elliot and James interactions.
Oh yeah.
The one of
Have a
them
complicated
when
relationship,
he
it's fantastic.
when Elliot pulled the Batman on him about can I trust you?
It's so good.
Oh yeah.
I love that one. That was one of my favorite. And then the very recent, I can't believe you almost got yourself killed and you didn't care what we would think about it.
Oh, that
Speech.
rant was fantastic.
That was an incredible rant.
So good.
I thoroughly enjoyed. I know I told a couple of you, and Amanda was there. I was preparing. The podcast was coming up, and I'm thinking, and I knew Elliot being Elliot is that he's not going to let that slide. He's got to, because he was scared. And Elliot, when he gets scared, he gets angry. For the most part, Elliot's kind of just chill, whatever. I expected you to do something stupid, whatever. But when he gets scared, his coping mechanism is to get mad.
Yeah.
And Elliot was free. Yeah, fighting Mortar, cool, whatever, bad guy. But when James almost got himself killed, it pissed Elliot off. And so I was thinking my way through that, and then I started channeling that rant in my head. And I'm like, I just had to drop what I was doing at home and sit down and start writing it down. Because it was like 2 days before the pod. I'm like, I'm going to forget this rant.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm literally just sitting there
gold. Yeah.
typing it down. Type.
And then we had to edit it because some things you can't say on podcast.
Yeah, I had to do some moderate editing because
Somehow Goat fucking made it.
I know.
That was the cleanest version.
that tells you what we had to edit down. Yeah, no, Elliot was in full bore. I enjoyed it, and I did warn Downs before we did that session to remind him that this is Elliot speaking to James. This is not me talking to Downs.
Yeah.
So don't take this
Thanks
personal.
again for that warning, because you went from 0 to 100 real
Real
quick.
fast.
Yeah.
You ripped his ass so bad, Oldnock didn't have to say shit. He just went, yeah, left, yep.
Left the rest of us
Yeah, what he
shell-shocked.
That twice.
but it also really, at least from my impression or interpretation, it like manifested a parent-child
Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna
energy
say
beautifully.
there's kind of a like mentor-mentee relationship between Elliot and James, because you're both like ranged guys. You do a lot of bows and arrows stuff.
Right.
When we went hunting, it was the three guys that went off for the most part, and so like you know.
Emery and
2
Mel
hours
were
and an
losing
axe.
their breakfast.
Yeah,
well, and
and so like there's been a lot of like mentorship from Elliot to all of us, but
Yeah.
specifically to James too.
But
And
it's been-
so there's a lot of, and James has caused the most trouble too. By fact of who James is.
I was gonna
It's
say we
not
say
a
that,
bad thing.
but Mel was like her patron was an evil god. Like somehow, how does that less trouble?
Well, because Mel
really good at keeping
didn't
that
know what
secret
she was
for a while.
doing. Mel has the benefit of innocence and naivete, whereas James is a
we know
smart
you're a
guy.
scoundrel.
You know.
Yeah.
proof that being stupid and cute gets you away
It
with more
does.
than being smart.
Well, the biggest difference is
Pretty
he
good.
says this is gonna be dumb. Mel says that was dumb.
Oh yeah, that was.
You're right.
dumb.
That is
true.
that is a huge
That's a
difference.
huge
Yeah.
difference.
This is stupid.
This is probably a bad
versus,
idea.
oh, I shouldn't have done that.
I got an idea.
Well,
but
you
it's
knew
probably
that was dumb. Why did you do that?
Meanwhile, Mel does it and goes, "Oh shit, I should not have done that."
Yeah.
And like I said, for like the inspiration for what James is essentially just like what if I didn't have common sense?
Yeah.
Just
No
went with it.
impulse control.
Yeah.
Well, and what I especially love too, going back to the rant last episode, I loved that you made Elliot your hero during the campfire,
Yeah.
and that was
Yes.
before the rant.
Yeah, yeah.
I love that pre-session we're all joking about throwing beans, and then we had to throw the fucking beans.
Yeah.
Did no,
went
you haven't
bad real
edited that
fast.
yet. Never mind. I was gonna ask if you put that before.
I
the
have.
episode yet.
I've put those snippets in as the after credits
Okay.
of the episodes leading up to it.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
we
Yeah,
do
that
mention having to throw beans,
absolutely
yeah.
needs to be.
Because we had a full like out of character conversation. I was running through our magic items to get us ready for the battle with Ash Raphael,
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
had
and we
this whole
joked about throwing the beans when we get desperate.
That was our plan to beat the big bad.
Was
And
to throw
and
beans.
throw beans if shit went south enough.
When-
Not
when-
anymore.
When we are desperate, we throw the beans.
Except
That
we're all out of
conversation
beans.
is the post-credits blooper for the first
Before-
Ash Raphael fight.
Perfect.
Nice.
Yeah,
Good. That's a good spot.
throwing
for
beans
it.
down.
it was a perfect placement. Yeah.
There are just so many wonderful moments during this Colorado arc that like bring such a healthy balance of like, oh shit, this is a horror podcast with comedy as well.
Yeah.
And it makes it a serious pleasure to both listen to it live but also again remastered.
Which I think
me,
that's
sorry.
the perfect blend for storytelling too.
Yeah.
Because if it's all tension, it doesn't work. You need the tension and the release.
Especially like D&D stuff where it can be corny and
And we're a group of friends that plays together fairly often, and we literally can't stop ourselves from making jokes. Also,
Right.
yeah.
You got to cut that tension a little bit, you know. Like it's fun when the horror, like Oh my god, I want to call you Elliot. Like Jeremy said. I mean,
You know me as Elliot more than you know me as
you're
Jeremy.
not wrong. But like his
That's
real
how it
name,
goes.
Jeremy, like he pointed it out. You know, like there's great tension in some of the improv or that are scenes that you've written or whatever. Then to cut that tension with a well-timed joke, even a witty, weird dad joke that sometimes is groaning. Okay, sometimes they
pretty
hurt.
rough.
Yeah,
But they can't all be bangers.
I know they can't all crush. All right, but like they're well placed. I like
and
the
then
balance,
finding those
yeah.
places where the tension gets absolutely destroyed on accident, like the fight with the Drider
Or the poltergeist episode.
or the poltergeist.
I loved
Was
that.
a comedy of errors.
That's probably one of my favorite episodes.
It turned into a Mel Brooks episode
yeah,
real quick.
Yeah, it was so great.
Mel's locked in a room and can't get out.
Yeah, Jeremy is just
One at a time. just
Downstairs
not
in the
fucking-
dark.
Floating through the night, like just fighting
Having to get
invisible
so
creatures.
deep into the rules, like how the fuck did two blind things fight each other in the fucking dark?
And to know and to listen to it and know in Olnok's inventory sits a fucking magical weapon.
Yeah, Bro, you could use so much more.
I think the best part was like after 30 minutes in, you hear, "Got any threes?"
Just playing fucking Go Fish back in, yeah.
You had a magic weapon. You had a scroll of magic weapon. You,
Yeah, we had a lot that we could have used.
And that was a
I knew.
comedically tense situation because there was a lot of, like, you guys were legitimately in trouble,
I almost died.
and there was kind of absolutely nothing that anyone could do about it.
No.
but it's so funny the violent difference between the upstairs holding on for your dear life and then the basically battleship on the first floor. Like, I'm gonna attack B4. Nope, not there.
I use that episode as an example to not split the party.
Yeah, we had a three-way split going on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
it
that's
was
actually
bad.
a fantastic example of why you don't split the party.
Yeah.
And to call back to what you guys said earlier, that's one of those multi-attack moments of like, fuck, they could go through the floor. Hunting for Elliot. This is dumb. They're gonna get frustrated and like, fuck this game.
I don't want to play
I'm
anymore.
not even sure this old man fucking exists anymore.
That was a fun one.
So, again, so many great memorable moments. And yeah, I'm excited to see where you guys go from here.
I think we're going east.
That would be my
Better
guess.
not be fucking going west.
Who let Mel navigate?
Colorado's closed.
There was talk of going to the Gulf of Mexico. I remember it. We talked about it, or the Gulf of I don't know. Fucking, yeah, Gulf of America.
We're not calling it that.
The Gulf of America.
So
Gulf of Cuba.
Yeah, let's just avoid that whole Bayou undead. Like,
All
they
I'm
already
saying is-
had undead going for them. Let's not do that.
yeah,
If Mel is in charge of navigating and we wind up at the fucking Canadian border, I swear.
Yeah, especially now that Annabelle the Doll's on tour down
Yeah.
Oh, dude, what? Yeah. Okay, sorry.
That's
Get back on track. Get back on track. We can go way off. Okay.
yeah. So I still want to get to some of the other listener questions, and to make sure we still have time for that. But the next question we have is, what is your favorite character joke thus far? We've already kind of talked about this, but with I punched a god, that's probably my favorite one.
You're
I
like,
did.
I
Right
did
in the
like
kidney.
You can lick anything. That was.
Yeah, I'm
that was
really
great.
attached to the you can lick anything, Mel.
It's not necessarily a thing that a
wasn't like a
character
joke,
said, but
It
it's
just
it's
it
the,
worked as a joke, right?
the funny shtick that constantly happens is Olnok decapitates something and Mel is usually in the splash zone.
Like, yeah, that does happen unnecessarily a lot.
We do
right? Like,
end up with a lot of running
I just
jokes in that
paint
way.
Mel in somebody else's guts. Right?
One of those things you're not thinking about in the moment, but you're like, oh shit, I did it again.
You could
Slice
stop
that one dude open, and then
anytime.
she's right there. Like, oh, hey, Mom, how you doing?
Not to put myself
Covered
on
in viscera.
a
Yeah.
Mel
put
just
myself
needs
on
like
a
a
pedestal for the joke.
hazmat suit. For
I
every
totally
fight.
do. Like, we talked about this. I need a poncho to go into battle.
I think one of my most memorable jokes that I did was Naked Elliot chasing after Charlie.
Oh god, I forgot
Oh
about
my
that.
gosh!
Oh, that was good.
I liked Old Man McGucket's fucking trousers falling off and then
Oh,
running
yeah.
off by themselves. That was
Old
pretty
Man
good.
McGruber.
Stuff. Yeah. Oh, yeah, McGruber. Not McGucket. That's a real character.
Oh god, okay, no, but the elves and their accents, though. The elves and the
Yes.
wondering
Oh my
accents.
gosh! Yeah, I recently re-listened to
I
that
laughed so
episode,
hard.
and oh my gosh, yeah.
We could have gone on that for hours.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you thought we made jokes about it a lot in that episode. We were restrained.
It was.
Honestly,
That was restraint.
we
It
were
has
trying
traveled to
really
all
hard not to
campaigns.
bait him. Like like it was hard to just not keep baiting him to like make him keep talking to see where his accent went from there.
I love that accent. No matter how much it floated, it was fantastic.
Ears of a Hawk Will Never Die.
That's a
too.
good one.
Here's a
Yeah.
hawk.
Yeah. Well, that was in the very first episode, right?
Yeah.
I've used
That was
that-
like the first fucking 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I use that in real life.
Yeah.
I said that to one of my coworkers, like, what the fuck are you talking about? I was like, never mind. Sorry. That's
Another
a
good one
joke.
was the off the cuff Mel dating a firefighter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mel?
I did. Yeah.
Yeah, episode 2.
What would happen if
In the
Mel
Wayback Machine?
finds kale chips later on in the?
She's gonna level up.
It's gonna be a Mario power up.
It's gonna be like Mario finding a fire.
Yes, I
fire
feel like
farm.
it's maybe that needs to be part of our flatland boredom is that we raid a grocery store and Mel finds some kale
James
chips.
is in.
Have like a fucking Popeye the Sailor Man moment.
Yeah, well, I was thinking raiding a grocery store like Fallout style kind of
Yeah,
thing.
there you go.
She's quick to the finish because she's got her kale chips. Yeah, makes sense too because Popeye punches things, Mel punches things. Connections.
See?
It's
See?
Mel the monkish woman.
You were asking for character jokes. I think was I've been sitting there thinking the rifle hospital while we were stitching the Olnock, and I was trying to convince the nurse that it's fine. Charlie's my dog. He's clean. See, look, he's cleaning himself right now.
That was fun. I forgot about
The whole
hospital. God,
rifle
that shit was
hospital
fun.
was pretty funny.
Yeah, the rifle hospital one. That whole one was really good.
Oh,
James,
yeah.
James, stab me, James.
No, I want to test something. Ow!
Not
Oh,
that
it's
hard.
bleeding more than I thought.
I think my
you hit max
favorite.
on damage, right?
He
You
did.
did.
I
You
did.
rolled back
Yeah,
on
you
it.
fucking nail.
Yeah,
I don't think he needs to roll. No, he's gonna fucking roll. You're gonna roll to hit if you're doing dumb. Dumb's gonna have consequences.
Instead of stabbing me, he slashed me across the chest from shoulders to hip.
you woke me up from my nap.
And I just want a fair note. I laugh at every stupid joke that happens, so I really am not a good judge of good humor.
Yeah, for the listeners at home, every time James makes a stupid joke, I look over at Kasey to like check
In our
to see if it
home
landed.
game, the two perpetrators of stupid jokes sit across the table from me, so I can't avoid them. So it happens to me constantly.
It's hard
and
to
I
sit
find
across from
every one
Downs
of them
and Amanda.
funny.
Yeah, because I am totally all about the punny jokes.
Well, my favorite was probably Sven.
Yes,
Sven was
yes, Sven.
Sven
Oh my gosh, I
broke
forgot about
The
Sven.
comfort tour. It's like, all right, well, I've already done one really fucking bad accent.
Let's roll
If it
it.
wasn't for Sven, the elves
wouldn't
wouldn't have been
have
as
had
much
the elves.
fun.
Yeah, because Sven was before the elves,
Oh,
right?
yeah. It was
Right?
episode
Yeah.
like 4
Yeah,
or 3 or 4.
yeah.
So for listeners at home, most more than half the people at this table have DM'd games at this point.
Yeah.
For listeners at home, if you're thinking about running a campaign, go for it.
Do the voices.
But do the voices.
so fun.
Now,
Yeah.
and
Do it right.
there's a couple things. Number one, you're going to tell yourself, I can't do the voices. I'm not good at it.
Do it anyway.
Nobody cares.
Yeah.
Do them anyway.
They're fun.
And number two, you have to do the voices. And that helps you break your tension. And the weird part, no matter how bad you are at the voices and how much, and the first time I did it, I was very uncomfortable. But I said, you know what? These people came to sit at my table and they came to play a D&D game. And so the bad guy with the whatever bizarre accent, that's part of the game. I have to do it, no matter how bad it's going to be. And it was awful. And they thought it was the greatest thing ever. And every player that has watched their DM do that voice go, man, I wish I could do that. You can't. You just have to do it. And it's mildly liberating the first time or two you do it. And in your brain, you're cringing like, oh, this is awful. I feel so stupid. And then to watch your players leaned in and just go, oh my God, that was awesome. It's really like, oh, okay, do it. Just freaking do it.
The elves' multi-ethnic accent
Yeah.
is perfect proof that you don't have to be good at it
Yeah.
for it to be fun.
Yeah, it opens horizons.
Yeah. even as a new player, like I you listen to voice actors, you listen to all these people who do amazing voices and everything, but to listen to the accent wander, it's kind of immersing, right? Like, it was enjoyable. Like, whether it was going good or bad, I was really listening to that part, because I'm like, what the hell? What accent is he going to do next? Why is he Russian now? No, he's a French person. Okay, he's a French. It's so good. I love it.
You don't have to be Matt Mercer.
No, it's so fun.
It's more fun almost not to be great at it.
Yeah.
Because
if you do like a spot-on French accent, I'm just like, oh, he's a French guy, right?
Yeah.
Like, but if it wanders, oh god, it's so good.
The other fun thing, the other fun thing is that it does affect everyone else's play at the table too.
Yes.
Like, we've had characters with voices at our home games, and then other characters drift into their accents, which is funny every single time.
Yes.
Downs will always chase my accent.
He chases mine in the side quest. Yeah.
Yep.
It's so fun.
I had a Sean Connery halfling for a bit.
Oh my
Fucking
gosh.
chased.
Yeah.
This
We all got Scottish there for a while.
this is such great advice for both players and DMs, and I love it. What are you all most looking forward to moving forward in the podcast?
Level 8.
I mean, he didn't mince words. That's what it is.
What are you guys' levels right now technically?
7.
7, yeah.
Are we 7? I thought. Oh, I need a new character sheet. Then I'm 6.
I'm sweating. I'm sorry.
Did we go 7?
That's okay. If I'm
We've been
comfortable,
level
I
7
assume
for-
everybody else is.
No, it's recent. It's
we
recent.
just
It was
leveled
after
up.
Ash
I was like, did I
Shadow.
miss a level up? All right.
I was trying to remember.
Well, we know
when.
what we're doing in the break.
We just got 11.
Sure. I'll double check. I'm gonna make sure. I mean, that's a side.
I was supposed to be able to go that low. Sorry. I accidentally set my AC to 19.
Dude, I want that. Oh my god, that's nice.
Just turn this into a fucking deep freeze.
No.
Fucking good luck, guys.
That sounds pretty cool to
Computer's
me.
gonna run great.
Yeah.
And I will be sitting on top of it.
Still cold.
Yes.
Oh, that feels like.
Oh no, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Well, okay.
there we go.
Got this
Just
weird
hadn't
thing where I
updated my
cough
character
when I
sheet
get
yet.
warm. I have to keep it.
I forgot that happened. Thanks,
okay.
sorry guys.
Yeah. So most or we've already done that question.
Do we want to actually answer that one?
what
Do we
your
want to actually answer that question? You
I mean,
just asked?
I mean, you
forward
guys
to.
have been answering them pretty well. We've taken a couple tangents, but they're relevant tangents, so I'll let them slide.
I'll say,
This is the wrong table for no tangents.
Non-optional. Hey there, listener. As always, we greatly appreciate you following along with us on this adventure. This was a particularly fun episode to record, and if you've enjoyed listening to us, let us know. If there's folks asking for it, we would be more than happy. We may be looking for an excuse to make this a regular thing. I do have a couple pieces of quick news for you this week. First, as I mentioned last episode, we are going to start live streaming our recording sessions. You'll be able to follow along with us on TikTok or Twitch, and we typically record about once a month. We'll have those dates blasted out well in advance before they approach, but our first live streaming date is going to be July 26th. That's right, this coming Saturday. We will keep the times posted as we get closer, but our current plan is to start streaming at around 6:30. Keep an eye on our social media for those links. Our second bit of news is that we will be back at the Grand Junction Comic-Con. We had a great time last year and very much enjoyed getting to meet y'all. We are going to be doing at least 2 panels this year, and we're trying to squeeze a booth in there as well, but those were in very high demand this year. Those dates are September 19th and 20th, and as we get closer, we will announce when our panels are specifically. Now, for those of us who are local, please be mindful of the heavy smoke in the air. I know we are very active, outdoorsy people, but the smoke risk just isn't worth it. If you're in one of the several affected areas, our thoughts are with you. These wildfires are becoming something of a regular occurrence for sure, but they never get easier to deal with. So please be safe, stay inside as best you can, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Here's the rest of the episode.
for stuff we're looking forward to most, I've been really enjoying the surprise of like not knowing what's happening next. I know like basic flavor, especially because we've been facing Moritar for a little bit now, and I know that Chuck is pulling on a lot of American like lore. But it's always fun to see what comes next. So like, I don't know. There's nothing specific I'm looking forward to. Just the thrill of being part of the adventure.
We've unlocked a new biome's worth of cryptids.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I
That's what I
am
was just
looking
thinking. I
for
was
the
like, we're going
level
through the
where
place,
Mel
we need
gets
some
to
new
add
shit.
something to her wisdom.
Oh yeah. Yes. What's Mel's wisdom right now?
Fucking like a 3.
It's only a 9, thank you very much.
I feel after James's stupidity, I should probably edit mine.
You got to get a deduction.
Yeah, I
line
think
by
you
one.
actually should get a deduction.
Yeah, I think that's appropriate.
Yeah, next level
technically
you
I'm
have to
sitting
swap
at
it
a
for
0.
con or something.
Oh yeah.
I feel like we should probably formally lay this out on the table. Mel is a charisma-based monk. I know this is not in the book. We all know it's not in the book. But frankly, if she was going to be wisdom-based, she'd be dead.
For
And
story and everything, it made the most sense that she couldn't be a warlock anymore.
Right.
Mel self-actualized through being naive and innocent, and
Which is why she
charismatic.
deserves to no longer have a negative to her wisdom score.
So it's a new monk class called Pilates instructor.
Weird.
It's tied to not.
Yeah, it's a tied in a knot class. It's a monk subclass. You know,
the
you've
way
got
of
your
the knot.
karate, your tai chi, and your tied in a knot. So it's
Exactly.
a tied in a knot subclass. We're charisma based because we're fighty and we look cute doing it.
Yeah.
And you can run fitness classes.
Right.
Hi, niece.
Hi, niece. Yep.
That's part of the training for being in tied and knot is the ability to run a class.
Yep, the
That's
ability to give commands to soccer moms.
I was just going to say, that's one of my favorite moments from the first couple of episodes where you yell that mom into getting out of the fire.
Yeah. So, I got one to add for like what I'm looking forward to. So as Mike mentioned, we're going through like the plains and there's new cryptids and stuff. I do like the idea of the different creatures we can face. Whether it's like D&D creature or some cryptid that we kind of homebrew or whatever, that sounds really fun. I'm also really looking forward to who the next mini boss is. Right? Whoever that might be, because we haven't met this person yet. We haven't mentioned him. We heard about Ashraphael and the Colorado Arc and everything.
Yeah.
else.
We heard
But-
about the other
Like, we know of their existence, right?
Yeah.
Like,
We
but
know the scale guy.
Picking off the dome his head, you get inspiration next episode.
I can't. I remember Ass Face, but
I wrote it down.
Ass
also wrote
Blaster.
it
Wasn't that
down.
one of
Jeremy's
the
the
names
last
you said?
one who remembered it. Ashraphael was his name.
Yeah, there was Ashraphael
And then I remember
him.
Arpetrix.
There you go, inspiration.
Patricks.
Which one was that? The scale?
Yes.
Our
Yeah.
Patrick's was, yeah.
Okay. There was the Cat of Nine Tails was Ashraphael.
Yes.
Fire.
Which we have.
The scale was the
Penitence
guy.
through
Was
pain.
Arpetrix, and Amoritar is the
Oh, he was the third.
Scythe?
Okay, I
Scythe?
thought there was another
Scythe.
mini boss.
Whatever the Grim Reaper carries.
Scythe, okay.
Scythe. Yeah.
we've talked
'Cause
about
we argued
this ad
about that. 'Cause I was
nauseam,
like, that's
sorry.
the same thing. You're like, no, it's not. And I was like,
We've argued
yeah,
about it enough times that now I'm no longer confident which one's which.
Scythe.
No,
Scythe
she's
is
correct.
the big
It's
long
Scythe.
one, Sickle's the little one.
The sickle's
Yep.
the little hooky one.
Yeah.
That's the communism one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the Stalin one.
Yeah. Not the
Sorry.
not the communist one.
Downs, did you share what you're looking forward to?
Yeah, I did level 8.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Just kidding.
Yeah, he
No,
opened. He was out the gate, dude. Right away. Bam. Right
Level
away.
8.
Actually, just to put it out there, I know next to nothing about that side of the mountains, so I'm looking forward to pretty much everything about that. Because for me, none of it's been explored.
That's fair, honestly. Until we get to like the south region, if we're going that way at all, I don't know any of the lore from that section. That's why it's exciting. It could be really interesting. It could be dumb, right? Like it's like a llama or whatever. I don't know, but like it can be fun.
There's a lot of different flavors of Sasquatch.
Nice.
Yo,
Apparently one of
lot.
them's
He
a
gets
llama.
stinkier the closer to Florida you get.
That's true.
That makes sense.
does.
So
You
do
meant that
the rest
swamp
of us,
butt.
honestly.
Florida, he's straight up called skunk ape because
Yeah.
he fucking reeks. Like,
It smells awful.
Again,
Yeah.
most of us.
I still believe Bigfoot is just blurry, and that's why we can't get good footage of him.
he's
You know?
an extra dimensional being.
Well, I was just on that side of the mountains, and the drive is as boring as I remember. And I drove past Emery's house.
Nice.
Pointed out to my friend in Fort Morgan.
So, again, going back to being the forever DM, I'm just looking forward to a D&D game that I don't have to plan.
Yeah.
that I get to just react.
It's totally fair. Yeah.
I really just am enjoying the like, okay, entertain me. Throw something at me. Let's see if I can survive it. Let's do
You
it.
don't have to know what's coming.
I don't have to know what's coming. I don't have to plan. I don't have to plot. I just
You get to throw
react,
curveballs
and I
now.
enjoy that.
Right.
Yeah.
You get to derail the DM's plan. Yeah.
DM.
And I try not to. I absolutely do not, because derailing on purpose irritates me to no end.
Yeah.
But at the same time, and Shock knows, I also know the rules, and I know how to interact with them. So I'm looking forward to like, ooh, can I come up with a clever thing that
Right. To make that
is not obnoxious?
You're welcome for never using my bar to seduce a dragon.
You should try it one of these days.
No, I'm good. I know better.
There is a such thing as failure through success.
I believe that's how there were dronkies.
Yeah, yes. Yeah.
I've seen some things too where a DM has sent the dragon has gone after the bard for child support.
That sounds so funny. Yeah.
Or it just turns out the dragon's a top and it's death by snoo snoo.
That's terrible. That's horrible.
DM, what are you most looking forward to in this next arc?
Kind of looking forward to their higher level. So some of the like, the crunchy survival shit, where it's like a pack of wolves is a legitimate threat, isn't the case anymore.
Yeah,
so we could expedite travel.
Yeah, and you can throw
The
some
day by day survival is not as big of a deal at this point.
Yeah, and you can throw some bigger shit at them.
Throw bigger shit for sure, but we could start to. It's not going to take us 2 years to get through Kansas.
Oh, thank
Yeah,
God.
I hope
That's
not.
cool.
There's not a whole
Honestly,
hell
I
of a
would
lot to
I would
see.
now like to change my answer to what he said, because I didn't know any of what he was about to say. I didn't know that was a thing, because I'm new. So
It'll feel like 2 years
Yes.
to get through Kansas.
So
It
per
feels
usual.
like 2 years to get through
Driving.
Kansas with a car.
yeah.
Exactly.
My
Forza,
thought for this next arc is the first arc was the Colorado arc. This is the plains.
Yeah.
All of
that
them.
makes sense.
All the way to the Mississippi.
So we're talking like
Basically,
747 Cessna.
Planes don't work, James. All right.
So the next question I have
Planes of
for
existence
y'all
do.
is when do you feel most connected to the game and to your characters? Is there like a specific time of the recording or a specific instance your character does that helps you like really dial in?
A recent moment, James definitely felt. Well, I definitely felt like James when I had that come to Jesus meeting with Elliot.
Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah.
Yes, no matter what, you were still getting chewed out.
Oh yeah, deservedly so. That was a dumbass plan.
For me, I look forward to once we've sat down, we've settled down, we've got our sound checks done, we've answered questions, and the opening scene. Okay, this is where you're at. This is what you see. This is what's going on. For me, I kind of feel like I sink into the character and get into character. That description of the scene starts to fill. Elliot opens his eyes, and now this is what he sees and what he hears. That is my point where I go into Elliot and try to stay there through the game. That's my point. And then once we're done, go home, sleep, and then I kind of don't think about it until I sit down again.
My first steps to getting into character is rolling for recap.
That's not right. Yeah, I so badly don't want to get it, but when it happens, I'm like, oh shit, here we go. I got to remember what happened now.
It's such an adventure when you get it. We were all here and we don't recognize your recap.
What are you talking about? That
I
didn't
just,
happen. Like, yeah, I remember.
I just recapped the wrong episode.
Yeah.
Can I be honest with you guys?
Yeah.
I have summaries of the recaps, but I intentionally don't give them to you because I want to see more reactions.
That is fantastic. I love that.
I've been holding on to that information since like episode 26, or like episode 26, 27. That's when I started like listening live and being involved live. Yeah, I have been writing summaries.
That's funny as shit.
But I'm not
Yeah,
giving
let's see
them
where
to
this
you
goes.
because
Yeah.
It is funnier to let us struggle.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
yeah.
I respect that decision.
I do. I respect it. That's,
I partially feel like I'm slacking on my scribing, but also it's fun.
It's part of the shtick now.
I get both sides of it. Yeah.
Well, yours is for the audience's benefit later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair.
These guys are on their own.
Jen
Start
just has an
putting
IRL quest
putting
now.
a wiki together.
Right.
Put a wiki together for the audience.
And this is what actually happened in the last episode. Don't listen to them. They don't know anything.
It's really fun to hear. So that's what they remember.
Well, there's two schools of thought on recapping your sessions. One of the schools is the player's recap. Mm-hmm. The other one is the DM recaps. And the two different schools are the DM recap, and in my game, and almost everybody at this table minus Bernal are my players in my other game, and have been for years. That's how we all got to know each other to begin with. As you guys know, I recap my games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the main reason is I like to put everybody back on the same page.
Right.
And on top of it, it gives me the opportunity sometimes to do some subtle retconning
Yeah.
Okay.
that doesn't need to be brought to the forefront on retconning. And that's why I do it that way. My desire is to put everybody on the same page before we start. However,
you hit all the points that matter. For
this is the
upcoming
important
session.
parts that I wanted you to get from the last session.
Yeah.
And
Gentle
here's where
nudges
we
in the
start.
right direction.
And you I don't know, I'm sure you catch them. I retcon not all the time, but sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, I meant to do this, so I just retcon that's what actually happened. And
His
nobody
jacket was
argues. They're
Totally,
like, oh, okay.
always purple.
Yeah, he's 100%.
Yeah, it was. I remember that being
Yeah,
the case
I remember.
too.
As you erase your notes.
Yeah, right.
Exactly. And it puts the DM and the players on the same.
Yeah.
The other school of thought, which neither one of these are right or wrong, they're just different. The other one is you let the players recap so the DM can go, well, I thought this is what I wanted them to see or think, but you put forth and then you get back and you say, oh, that's what they got out of what I gave.
Right.
Which allows you to get a pulse for how the players are doing.
Yeah.
It's a
And-
constant feedback loop
Right.
of, oh, well, I apparently didn't do that very well.
Right.
Right.
And it's just, I think it's personality differences, table differences, and it works works for your table.
And the confusion works well in a horror setting.
Yes.
Right.
I'm not going to tell you what's real.
Yeah. That's what I remember. Yeah. So we'll go with that.
Oh, so that's what you think it was. Okay.
Yeah.
Guess I'll find out if you're right.
I like the character questions at the top of the episode because I feel like it kind of helps me tap into Emery's brain.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to help
Like, pushes that.
get connected.
Yeah.
to
And I know
Emery.
that Shock likes to kind of tailor pick them for the episode coming up, so whatever I'm thinking about could potentially
It's
be
related,
relevant
yeah.
in the episode.
Yeah.
So,
You guys ever notice how depressing some of our character
Dude, they're
answers
so
are?
sad sometimes.
like I said, you
They're like,
gotta
"Hey,
give
let's
the
start this
character
guy."
trauma so that they don't have a life to leave.
When I had to pivot, I was like, God, this is just getting kind of down.
Yeah.
We got to get some less serious shit going on here.
What's your favorite book? Right? Like,
I mean, even with that, you can.
oh
get
yeah,
into
you can
trauma.
spin it. Yeah,
Right.
for sure.
Yeah, I
My
think
favorite
those
book's the
characters.
Necronomicon because I'm trying to save my dead wife.
That took a turn.
Yeah.
For my, for my downtime, I like to read Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah.
It really speaks to me.
Yeah.
Really.
Really?
Nails it.
Silence of the Lambs.
Because I'm the chef.
That Hannibal character's an interesting feller.
That makes me
Yeah,
concerned.
no, those character questions at the beginning I think really helped me kind of get into character because I spend the better part of the session going, what would Mel do? Because my knee-jerk basically I figure out what my knee-jerk reaction would be and do the opposite.
WWMD new shirt.
Right?
What would Mel do? Punch a god.
Well, no, I would do that too. Like occasionally, sometimes we
Sometimes
do
they
a
line up.
line.
Yeah, that's
Sometimes
fair.
Mel and I do a line, but like there were situations like that first one in the cathedral. I had the heebie-jeebies. Mel, I was like quietly over here, like trying to roll perceptions. Mel had no freaking clue. So she's over here going, this is great. We get a warm bed. And I'm over here going, we're going to die in our sleep. Like,
Look, we got new clothes and we get food tomorrow. That's awesome.
actually, we totally should let them do laundry because we smell bad. So I spend a lot of the session going, what would Mel do? And then be like, okay, what would I do this? Okay, I'm going to do not that.
Okay, I have to ask. If we would have given them our clothes, would they have been laundered and given back to us
Oh,
without?
absolutely, yeah. That was one
Totally
So
safe.
we made such to think of that.
At that point in time, they anticipated you staying for quite some time.
You put
They
us on
wanted you
so
to-
much
Oh,
edge
it's so cool.
that we wouldn't give up
We
our
didn't
fucking
trust them
clothing.
for
Something's wrong.
anything.
That was the most
you
effective,
cannot have
totally
my laundry.
accidental pulse check I've ever done. I did not intend it that way, but I'm like, oh, this is telling me everything I
No,
need to know
you're
about
not
how well
getting
this
my
is going.
stuff.
Why do you need our clothes?
Oh, I
To
fucking
clean
nailed
them?
that apparently. They are scared as hell.
We were. And that was the session I had a wicked headache too.
Oh, yeah.
And I was just sitting here with my eyes closed, like, no,
It
no.
was so good. So immediately distrusting. It was so
Yeah.
fun.
I think I'm the
so
most
hard.
engaged personally when we're in combat, because like there's a lot more going on. There's a lot more roles and stuff.
Yeah, a lot of shit
It might
hits
not
you.
be the most, character involved, but I'm the most personally engaged when we're in combat, and I'm always trying to think of creative ways for things to die. Because I don't know. It's
You
just
run
fun.
out of ways to decapitate.
There's a
us.
decent amount of strategy in.
Yeah.
I mean, this combat's like
Yeah.
all strategy, so
But,
it's fun. It's,
Yeah, so definitely the most engaged during combat. I would say what helps me get into character, like has been mentioned before, though, is the beginning question, right? Because you're like, okay, well, what would this past experience kind of bring forth in what we're going to do going forward? Like I briefly mentioned to Mel, and then it's never been spoken of since, that I once had a daughter, and now we'll never talk about that again unless somebody asks
James
me
got really
about it.
awkward
No
and started
one's-
talking about shoes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Because you're
no one's
"How are
ever
you so
gonna
good
talk
at dyeing
about that
hair?" Like,
again.
oh, I had a daughter. Let's never talk about that again.
Yes.
And then so far, that's been the rule. You know what I mean?
Because James won't, because that's like awkward guy emotional
we
touchy
immediately
feely
went to the
stuff.
guy
And
with like,
Mel
oh,
was
that's
so
weird. You have
self-absorbed
feelings.
with her hair.
Oh, you got a
she
cool
did
hat,
not
bro.
care.
Like,
Oh, it might come up because Emery's having some complicated feelings after
Yes.
seeing her family.
Yeah.
fair.
totally fair. Right, I don't mind it coming up. I kind of want to
Yeah.
eventually, engage.
Well,
with
we've
that
been
part of the
traveling
backstory.
together for a month.
Yeah, and we
in
know
game.
very little
Like,
about Olnok. He's
Right.
not. Yeah, I don't talk about my
It's
past
been
life.
2 years
He's
for
got a
us. It's
marvelous
been
singing
about a
voice.
month in game.
Yeah,
The problem that I am
So-
realizing that I'm having is that we have these deep, like, character developmental questions, and we answer them, and then I literally never think of them again. And then everyone else is telling me about my character. I'm like, I did? That's cool. When did I do that?
that's interesting.
Tell me more about myself.
You guys are pretty close to a month and a half now.
Yeah.
Cinco de Mayo
I was
Oh,
gonna
on
say
time?
was
yeah.
when he turned wolfy. That was clear back at the
I
cathedral.
haven't
Yeah.
done the math for what the
So
actual.
you're at about a
date
month
is.
and a half-ish.
Yeah.
Honestly, it didn't take as long in game time to cross Colorado as I personally thought.
No.
Because it seemed like fucking forever. I'm
We
not
could've
going to
made
deny
that take way
it.
longer.
It took quite a few sessions to get through some of these days.
Yeah.
Like, you
Yeah.
guys went
We
through
did a
some
very
shit.
granular approach to crossing Colorado.
The rifle took a hot second. There was a lot there. You were
Yeah, we had
rifle
some
for a while.
side quests to take care of, and it was fun. We're leveling up. We're grinding, as the RPGers would say. But-
Yeah.
But I liked rifle because that's when it was like, oh, by the way, your actions do have consequences.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a
The
fan
Richardson
of that.
boys problem isn't just done because you killed them in a field. Like,
Yeah, we had to
No,
do
that
it
was
twice.
gonna
that
have
was
to deal
fun.
with
You know what?
this.
I
I
enjoyed that a
liked
lot.
killing them the first time, and it was even more enjoyable when I killed them as zombies.
I loved
So-
you guys finding out that you're talking to one of their girlfriends in the store. Like, oh, fuck.
I, as a player, felt so guilty for these imaginary
Emery
characters
felt bad.
that I
Fucking
killed.
guy's sleeping around on me. I just know it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
he's
it.
not dead at all. I didn't cut his head off.
The moment,
Yeah, it's lucky you weren't there.
In my defense, I did not kill anyone. I just did them psychic damage.
Sure.
the moment that I, as a player, realized that the people in the morgue or in the
was
mortuary
cool.
where
Yeah.
the Richardsons like,
Yeah.
oh fuck, we have to kill him again.
You have to what now?
Nothing.
Nope.
Watching you guys try so hard to not trick yourselves into talking to the fucking sheriff.
we did a very bad
we
job.
just need duct tape for when Olnok's around people, like accusing him of things. Like, that's weird. I would never kill somebody in that fashion, except for if I did, I would do it exactly like this, O.J. Simpson style. Like,
Was his head attached? No, that wasn't me.
Was he gooey? No, we did not do that.
Oh, you could identify the body. Yeah, that wasn't us.
I wouldn't do it that way.
Who is your guys' favorite NPC thus far?
Oh my god. Okay.
For me, it has to be the vampire poet. I absolutely love that guy.
I'm not a fan.
I despise Blake so much. Oh my god.
I think Walter.
Walter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Elliot and Walter interactions were absolutely fucking
those were
choice.
great.
I
Shit was
loved
fun.
it.
Oh, just so everybody knows, the Walt Allen in there is based
Walt.
an actual guy that I knew growing up.
Yeah.
Now, Shock never met him, so he totally wasn't even close on the accent. No. But the man himself, the descriptions, that was a person I knew.
Yeah.
Although he wasn't that bad of a cook. Right. He wasn't a good cook, but he wasn't that bad.
Yeah. Wasn't actively trying to give you heart failure.
I think my favorite NPC so far is Jacob.
Yeah.
Especially recently when he's like attempting to. Yeah.
I love it.
And him on the broom is hilarious.
I think so my favorite NPC group so far was the elves. Now, partly because of the accent from it. I'm not going to deny it. But also, in my head, when you were like describing them, it was fun to kind of imagine what like a beauty I couldn't possibly fathom could be. Mm-hmm. You know, I found the characters themselves very interesting, especially the two that taught us, some magic stuff, and the one that Olnok bonded with. I can't remember his name, but
Volred.
Yeah.
Fuck me, Hagmar.
Okay, Hagmar was the scholarly guy,
I can't
wasn't he?
believe you remember that.
Roja was
their leader.
Rogue.
Uh-huh.
Something beginning with M. May.
What was her name? Maylin?
Maylin.
Something
maybe?
like that. She was the blood hunter, which was a type of fighter, basically.
Right.
Malin, yeah.
Maylin.
There was one that
Hagmar,
was,
Maylin, Volred.
I think Volred is the
Clairn.
one. Maybe it was Clairn.
Yeah, because Clairn
Fuck
was
yeah.
the one who was too
No
stoned
notes.
to do anything in the fight.
There was one of
That
them
was
that I really
episode
bonded with.
5.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
But it was I enjoyed that particular group quite a lot.
Yeah. They taught us so much and then didn't do bugger all in combat.
Useless.
Yeah, they
God
did not help.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, you guys are better at this than us. We're just gonna go ahead and pack up our salamanders,
think
get the
about
fuck out of here. Like,
And
were
this is
following-
why we're not fighting a Moritai.
Exactly. Yeah,
They were
like
unmotivated.
level 2 or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
They were supposed. You guys were too. They were like level 9. They should
Oh
have
my
rocked
gosh.
up.
Really?
Yeah, they were the. I built them in case I imbalanced the encounter.
Yeah.
because I was still pretty fresh, and that was a big group of monsters.
That was our first fight since the biker gang.
Yeah.
That was chaotic. The
And the
biker
biker gang went so terribly. I was like,
It's so bad.
I have to
You need a
build in
ripcord.
backup plans, and the backup plans sucked.
Yeah, as watching you do the motorcycle gang, I knew what was going on, and I'm like, you just got to work through it.
Okay.
Well, I
shit,
think
they got multi-attack.
any of us that's done that has
That happened in the first combat I ran
Yeah, it's one of your
too.
early ones.
Yeah.
You're gonna unbalance one and go, oh my god, how do I keep from?
made an
Yeah,
enormous
it's like,
mistake.
oops, I didn't
why-
know.
The
We've
first
all done it.
combat I ran was intentionally at a gladiator arena so that I could have clerics on standby in case I did accidentally murder the entire party.
That's a good idea.
That's
Because
a
I
clever
wanted a
solution.
easy way to get a sense for how combat actually works as a
That's-
DM.
That's a great idea.
why there was a cop and a couple more bad guys in the gas station was,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if this is too easy or way the fuck too hard.
Yeah, right.
So here's some Deus
Yeah.
Machina shit.
Let's figure this out.
A fair note, 4 velociraptors, bad for a 3-person party.
Too many.
Oh yeah.
Too many.
Is
Too many.
Is
to
it
know.
is it one too many or two many?
I don't know, but it was too
But it was-
many.
it was bad.
It was a nat 20 death save that saved our asses.
Oh my gosh.
Those things get pack tactics, don't
They
they?
do. They get pack
Oh,
tactics, and that's
shoot.
why 4 was too many.
Danger chickens.
Yeah.
Ooh, that'll be a cool encounter.
Those,
like it.
those are called abyssal chickens, and they're fucking terrifying.
Uh-oh, we got the DM Googling shit.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
No,
Oh,
D&D,
no.
you're
Oh, no.
looking for
He's
cockatrice.
Cockatrice. Yeah.
That's what you're looking for in D&D. Abyssal Chicken, I think, was
That was
Pathfinder.
Starfinder.
Yeah.
Pathfinder, Starfinder. Yeah.
Yeah.
Encounter idea for later.
Nice.
Also, it was Mike the Headless Chicken Day today.
Oh, this
Oh yeah. Happy
Today,
Mike the
Mike
Headless Chicken Day.
So,
No wonder. it was
R.I.P.
so
to
quiet.
Mike
Everyone was
Chicken.
just-
Rip.
Forever in our memories.
Yeah, it was quiet.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why.
That does explain how
Yeah.
why we didn't have to fight traffic all day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
everyone's
yeah.
like,
I
chicken
thought it
days
was
are just
oddly empty.
Talking
My
about
roommate
weird
worked a booth
festivals that
there.
people do.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Some people have like the Frozen Dead Guy Festival. Sometimes people
Mike
celebrate
Headless
a
Chicken.
botched chicken patting.
Yeah.
Mike
He looked for
Mike
like
the
a
Headless
week,
Chicken
right?
to me will always be the beloved Starfinder pet.
Oh yeah.
Because you named him that.
Yeah.
So this is the final
He did.
Theater of the Mind presents Retribution question. There are a couple of generic D&D questions that I want to like pose to the group. But what has been an encounter thus far that has really pulled at the heartstrings? For me, it was Emery's interaction with their family. For some reason that just hit deep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was complicated in a lot of ways. I won't go into it here, but like that'll probably come up in episodes.
That was really awkward for me personally, and I was fighting my dark humor instincts to not just make it fucking way worse. So I was like, just shut up. You don't need to. Don't chime in.
It's also just like Emery's the only one of us, other than because we met Walt, we knew Elliot's family at his ranch, but that was kind of before the quest really started. But this is like we now know the stakes of what we're dealing with, and we're going towards it anyway. And they happen to be on our way, and that's might be the last time Emery ever sees her family.
Yeah, and
so there's a lot of conflicting feelings in that kind of interaction.
Yeah.
One that I don't think we touched base on really a lot was that kid that we saved from DIA.
That's true.
And we brought him back to his kid.
Oh, yeah.
And then the
church guy,
the person from the cult was coming up to like talk to us and whatnot. That absolutely means that they more than likely got swept away with that and have been brainwashed at this point. It's just
I think the part about that one that was sort of heart-wrenching was the fact that Jacob, our beloved NPC, whose parents are dead, we're pretty confident of that, watched us return a child of similar age to his family.
Oh, I didn't even make that connection. Damn.
Me neither.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now that you bring that up, that's wicked sad.
It is.
I'm getting to contrast Jacob's trauma self being the hardy kid who's going to protect the other kid.
And then that kid gets to go home.
Yeah.
It's a good thing he's an NPC or I'd cry for him.
What? Okay. I have a thought. I had one and I lost it again.
Hearing Olnok's flashback in the werewolf episodes too was
Oh,
definitely
it was related to the werewolf
definitely
episode.
hard hitting.
Yeah.
So, thank you. That actually jogged my memory. So, when I wolfed out in like a dream, it was at the Stanley, I believe, with the little shadow creatures that were giving us nightmares.
the Homer Simpson fucks.
It wasn't like heart-wreshing, but it was like, ooh, shit, that could be something, if I don't get this werewolf thing handled, I could do. Was when I was attacking Elliot's ranch. That was really good. And I ended up, fighting Walt, and then I realized I'm gonna attack Elliot. Like, I'm like, dude, I would just decimate people I care about if I don't get this under control. That and the flashback onto the naval ship where I just I wolf out and I kill everybody. Like that. For me, it was pretty. It gave me some tension. I was like, "Oh, we need to figure out how to cure this curse, dude." Because like I got lucky on that save throw to keep my wits about me. Otherwise, I could TBK our whole party, and we have to be new people, and I don't want to be. Right? That's fun.
And it was only
also creepy.
It was only a few lines, but the interaction between Olnok and Elliot was a very heartfelt that you're my friend, I respect you, you are a part of us, and as your friend, I am telling you that if you turn, I will kill you to save the party,
and
because I know that's what you want. It wasn't a big thing, but it was a very heartfelt. Honestly, it was kind of a heartfelt between a current and an old warrior.
Correct.
Yeah.
It wasn't a big thing, but it was a very intense, very, very intense moment.
Yeah. And it, honestly, as the character, now that you bring that up, that brought me some peace. Right? Like, stop me if I can't control myself. Right? Like, it did make me think, like, well, at least I won't fucking kill everybody. I'll be dead, but that's okay, because I'm willing to throw my life away for these people anyway.
Yeah. There haven't been too many, like... Well, I would say there hasn't really been a single episode that has pulled at my heartstrings, but, like, there have been instances like that, that really have. that are just kind of scattered throughout the episodes that you don't really know when they're going to come on. But when they do, they hit hard. They can hit
little
hard.
tiny set bombs.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, exactly.
We don't know
Like,
when
just
they're going to
brief
come on
bouts of
either.
depression.
Exactly. Well, and that's the cool thing about like D&D is just we don't know when they're coming on.
Right.
Not even when the DM or not even the DM does.
Yeah. And it's for me, like, I know it might sound cheesy, but like that's kind of reminiscent of life. Like, you don't know when that stuff's going to hit you. You don't know when a certain phrase is going to be said. And you're like, oh, like it hits you. You might remind you of something that happened forever ago that you thought you got over, and you have to relive that emotion again because it's going to hit you. And I think it's I don't know if it's unique to this game, but I've never played like another like video game or anything that seems to have the kind of flow that this kind of has. Like, they'll just hit you out of nowhere. Like, obviously, video games are scripted, etc., so you're going to go through certain things, but the improv that we're doing as we're going through, like the interactions with people, just like they're going to be in real life. Sometimes they'll mention something, or your best friend will bring something up. You're like, damn, that's heavy, and now you guys got to deal with that. You know what I mean? And I like that.
I think that's kind of part of playing this game with a group of close friends.
Yeah.
Too. Like, we have all gotten closer through this game, and that kind of seeps back into the game too.
Yeah.
Like,
The comfort that allows you to be vulnerable
Correct.
in a character that, no matter how hard you try, is the little you.
Right.
Varying
There's going to be
degrees
pieces
of
of
you.
you in there.
Yeah.
it's a lot easier when you know the people.
Yeah.
Also gives you the opportunity, it gives you a safe spot for those little old traumas that you kind of thought were buried, that sometimes they come out in the game, and it can give you, when you've got a close group of friends that you feel safe with, it sometimes will give you the opportunity to explore it and sort of go, okay, well, that happened, and now it came up in the game. I'm going to do what I always fantasize, like, well, if I would have done this, you can sort of explore it a little bit.
True.
And
True.
sometimes it can help you go, you know what? The way I handled it in the past was okay.
Yeah.
Because if we'd have handled it the way that I've been kept awake because I can't fall asleep because I keep thinking about this thing that happened 15 years ago.
Right.
If I'd have just done that thing, every once in a while that will come up in the game and you can explore it as, well, this is what I would have done. And sometimes you go, oh, you know what? It's probably a good thing that I didn't do
Probably
this.
better than I
And
did.
sometimes you can lay that to rest and go, oh, you know what? I did better than I thought I did.
Yeah.
And sometimes you discover new things that are going to come up in future session zeros. As please, can we not touch on that?
Yeah.
Also
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I came across one not that long ago. My character doesn't even know about it, but as a player, like I'm like, yeah, that's actually going to be a thing I'm going to lay out next time.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's also important to bring up too that at least how I run my tables is when it comes to setting boundaries, when it comes to setting those hard no's, that can be a conversation that, of course, is going to happen in a session 0. It can also happen in a session 50 and anywhere in
true.
between.
It's ongoing.
Absolutely.
Because going off of what Jeremy said too is, in D&D you can get surprisingly vulnerable.
Yeah.
And just it can be healing in a way. Outside of podcasts, I'm a therapist, a mental health therapist, and just I like to share with the people that I work with that the best therapy doesn't happen in a 50-minute counseling session. It happens out there with your support community, with your family, with the chosen family you pick. And D&D is such a beautiful D&D and any tabletop is such a beautiful and great opportunity to practice being vulnerable and to heal those old wounds.
Yeah, it is therapeutic.
Yeah, off mic, let me know what that is so we don't do it.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
I've had that discussion with the player in question. We're going to carry on with it because it fits,
Kadok?
but I don't like it.
Okay.
Fair enough.
That was
Okay. Okay.
And don't touch it, whatever it is. All right.
Yeah, but that was a conversation we had earlier too. Was like you should be checking back in because we're friends outside of the game too. We tend to talk about the game a lot between our various groups of ourselves. So we tend to kind of naturally do a lot of that checking in and making sure we're all okay with how things are going. But
Yeah, I work with the DM. He likes to put me on edge.
God,
with
it's so
future
much
shit.
fun. I love the week before podcast. Fuck with
Hey,
them all
something
week.
really bad's gonna happen during the podcast. You might die. Anyway, I gotta. Can you?
Oh, by the way, I need you to do another building.
Yeah.
If you
So,
don't mind.
what do you think's gonna happen this weekend?
I ain't giving you any more.
No,
freaking
no.
ideas.
What's the question? You keep that shit over there.
Trust me, Dowds, I have been dealing with that since Jeremy and I moved in together. What do you think we should do?
Stop taking notes.
You're not going to do anything I suggest anyway.
That's funny.
I kind of want, again, we are flowing naturally into these questions, but so we've already kind of talked about this, and I want us to expand a little bit more on why people feel D&D might be important. D&D and other TTRPGs might be important in our current times. How can it be helpful?
Escapism's always good,
Right.
in turbulent periods of time. I don't think no matter what spectrum of thought you're on, I don't think anybody's sitting there saying, "Yeah, shit's good right now."
Everything's perfect.
Right? Like, man, this is super stable. I could see this going on for 50 years just like this, and we'll be happy, right? So yeah. So
I'd like to
escapism's
escape
awesome.
into the apocalypse. It's great.
And like, as goofy as it is, we were playing Strahd.
during
with-
2020,
during COVID.
this is
Like,
built on escapism.
leaving a nightmare where anything can happen and going into a world that has rules that have to be followed and shit works a certain freaking way every time, deal with it. It's kind of nice when that
And
doesn't
also,
seem to be the case
you
in real
can
world.
punch the bad guy.
Yep.
Yeah, you could punch gods in D&D.
In our defense, we started Curse of Strahd before
Yes.
the pandemic started.
I was gonna
And we
say,
were only a
coincidence.
couple
I was
sessions
gonna
in when
say,
it
let's
happened.
be honest, though. In real life, you can punch the bad
You
guy,
can.
but there are
There's
consequences
worse
for your
consequences.
actions.
There's real life
And
consequences.
then, and nothing happens. You're just like, yeah, that was satisfying. No,
So-
you're gonna get the cops calling on you. Things.
I didn't say there were no consequences. I just said technically
Yes,
you
you
still
can.
can.
Yes.
Yeah,
you can.
I mean, yeah, that's what I'm pointing out. Like, you're absolutely correct. You can, but things happen in the real world.
So as someone who has a pretty extreme level of anxiety most times in my life, I want to point out that D&D is really important in like socialization too. It took a lot of effort for me to go play my first ever D&D game, and I feel like extremely grateful that I met Jeremy there and ended up in this group because it gave me a place that I could go once a week and socialize with people with less pressure because we were doing something at the same time. It's an activity to do together,
That's fair.
and you grow to learn the people as you're going, but it's a lower pressure social event than like going and just hanging out with somebody for 4 hours, right?
Yeah, and learning to be vulnerable just comes
Yeah.
naturally.
And being able to kind of hide behind a character a little bit too while you're getting to know people. So it felt safer to my very anxious brain to go socialize as a character than it did to go socialize as myself.
Because how long ago was that?
That was 2018.
Oh, wow.
2018.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've been playing for
That
a
was
while. Yeah.
2018. I took
7
myself
years ago, 8
to
years
Saturday
ago,
night
something.
game
Yeah.
for around my birthday as a birthday gift to myself because
Yep.
I'd been wanting to play for a while
Fantastic.
and ended up in the Starfinder group.
Was that your first?
That was my first time
one?
ever actually playing D&D.
Wow.
Well, so the local game store, shout out to Trudy, Board Fox Games in Grand Junction. She's amazingly helpful and wonderful.
Supporters of the podcast.
Supports
Yes.
the podcast and is a fantastic person. Their family, the store's great. We love them. She was running D&D nights, and I was going there as a store D&D, running just whatever people showed up.
Or a store DM.
A store DM.
Yeah.
What did I say? Yeah,
Store
store
DM,
DM.
Store
sorry.
D&D.
So I was.
You are not a box set.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you. So I was
know if you
running a
push the
table,
right
and I
buttons,
think
he'll
that
tell you all
day
the
when I
rules.
had a table set up and nobody came to the table, there was some other groups going, and there was a group that was pretty short. I think they had like 3 players. So I didn't have one to run, so I just sat down, and Kasey, who I did not know at the time, I just and there was a fairly young kid running the game, and So I sat down. I'm like, well, I don't have anything to run. Mind if I sit here and play? So I pull out a character and we start playing. And watching new players, you can watch new players and kind of tell if they kind of get what D&D is or whether they're just like, oh my God. And I remember the kid, I don't know if it was his first game, but he was very new DM and he was very young. Props for trying. And I'm sure he got better. He wasn't doing a particularly good job at that. And I remember, because you were sitting to my left. The fact that I remember you were sitting to my left.
Yeah.
You were trying so hard to play the game. And I'm trying to play the game.
With the story.
And the the short version is you couldn't roll high enough to accomplish anything in the game. So we weren't getting anything done. And I remember feeling really bad because I could tell that this girl to my left is trying really hard, but the DM's not letting the game progress. So after the session was done, I looked at her and I think I said, "Is you new to play or something?" And she's like, "Yeah, this is my first time. I think you told me it was for your birthday." And I says, "You know what? You're trying to play the game and the DM's stopping you. This is not how D&D is." I gave her my phone number. I says, "I'm running a game and I need a player. And I think you would fit very well in my game." And then you took up on that. And I'm glad that we're still playing together all these years later.
Yeah, me too.
Wow, that's awesome.
I still have the
friendship that creates
notebook.
a real friendship. That's awesome, man.
I still have the notebook with the page where you wrote down your name and number.
Jeremy's a weirdly apt talent scout.
Yep.
Fair enough.
I was going to say, Jeremy and I are only married because of D&D. So.
That's incredible. That is so incredible. Well, and Michael, our DM, is my oldest friend. Well, we've been going on close to 20 years of friendship.
Yeah, since I was in the 7th grade.
And before we were playing D&D, we would go in our backyards and play make-believe and pretend, and that's how we became lifelong friends.
Right.
Pretending to be Avatar.
Exactly.
The last airbender, not blue.
You were trying to be tall and blue?
When we first
No, we're
started
trying to
releasing,
bend elements, throw earth at stuff. Yeah, like
when we first started releasing episodes, several of my family members gave it a listen just to kind of see what it was about. And my little sister called me and she was like, "I understand why you like D&D now. It's just playing make believe," because she was my make believe
With
my
some
whole
rules
life.
and dice make
Yeah.
some decisions. Yeah, it's great.
I was gonna say,
Honestly-
I'm employed because of D&D.
that's fair.
Yeah, that's true.
I think a couple of things that come from playing, and I'm also speaking as a new player, but one of the things that I enjoy the most, and I think it can kind of pair to anybody, is the creativity of it. Like, you can just on the fly, you're making stuff up, right? So you get to work your creativity muscle, whatever that might be. If you're not very creative, it might be something you can jump in to kind of build on something. Maybe you'll think of a new world, or you're trying to be a writer, or like whatever you might be trying to do, it can help with that skill. The escapism is part of it, but if you kind of frame it right, in my opinion, it can be therapeutic. Like, there's a reason I wanted to explore how bad shit could have went for me, and it's partially because, like, well, it helps me see, like, honestly, what happened, though it sucked, didn't go as bad as it could have went.
An apocalypse could have happened.
Yeah, it could. Well, yeah, maybe a magical nuke goes off, and we have no technology, and I gotta pee in a bowl. I don't know.
I don't think we've done that in
Honestly, you
Toilets
can do
don't work
that now
anymore.
if you
Shut
want.
up! I told you I was creative. It's not important.
I'm labeling everyone's food dish.
Theater of the Mind presents Chamber Pots.
Yes, we gotta go back to medieval stuff.
What a weird...
I'm
We're all ended have to pee in bowls now.
You gotta pee in a bowl. You gotta walk to places. I gotta be nice to horses. Pretend I like people again.
But there's also
I
a
just think it's
strong.
important. Yeah.
There's a strong strategic element to it too.
True.
Like I said, like
Yeah.
there is stretches your brain in a lot of ways
Yeah.
to have that
Well,
creativity.
I had to
and
learn
that
mechanics,
strategy.
and there was things that needed to be learned in order for the game to progress. It'll help teamwork, in my opinion. Like, you have to
Yes.
learn how to work with the party. You have to learn how to help the
We were
the
talking
game go
about that
forward.
earlier
Yes.
too.
You know?
Like I feel like I have to put this one out there.
Yeah.
Like, once you've played D&D for any length of time and you've learned how to problem solve with a group of people under a time crunch, you will never be able to sit through a committee meeting
God, they awful.
in real
They're
life
so
ever
painful.
again.
Yeah.
They are
Like,
awful.
all you want to do is go like, okay, you guys, we can do
This meeting
this.
could have
This
been
is
an
not
email.
world
Yeah.
This isn't
altering.
that
I've
fucking
done world
hard.
altering problems. This is fine. You know what? Forget it. I'll place the next supply order. Like, it'll be
Right.
fine. Like, it revolutionizes your ability to problem solve with a group of people in a short period of time.
Slide blue. It doesn't matter.
Yes. No, you shouldn't put orange there. It's just whatever. Yeah.
One of the things I really like about it is it forces you to put yourself in someone else's shoes.
I agreed. Yeah.
So you can't play this game well and not develop or enhance your existing empathy,
Right.
which I think is something that it's a fairly important life skill, understanding where other people are coming from and removing yourself as the focus of everything.
Yeah.
That comes from the team-based element of it too. Like you have to share the table with everyone else that's sitting at the table. So you have to learn to kind of think from there.
If you have main character syndrome, you won't be invited back after a while.
Yes.
True.
You
Well,
are
and honestly-
not the main character.
Yeah, and it helps me learn how to socialize a little better. Like even I with you guys, obviously, I'm more comfortable with, but I'm not comfortable with everybody. I'm a little more introverted than I might appear. You know what I mean? And it's helped me kind of open up a little bit to strangers. I'm more comfortable talking to people because we talk about some pretty dark shit in here and some things that are kind of funny or kind of goofy, but also challenging and different, like you mentioned, the problem solving and the things like that. It helps you kind of flex your social muscle as well.
I bet you 2 years ago you wouldn't have yelled into Clay's face.
Not on purpose. Maybe on purpose, now that I'm thinking about it. I would have been more aware that he was directly behind me.
I was going to say, if nothing else, recording has taught us to take turns.
Yes.
Because we can't all talk at once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, right. It gets wicked chaotic.
I'm very appreciative of that fact. Yes. Makes my job a lot easier.
Correct.
Well, we've gotten down to the last question, which is kind of a two-parter.
Oh, multiple choice.
Oh no.
Yeah.
And this one is from a listener? Sort of?
No, it's not.
I sent you one from a listener that we should throw in here if you haven't.
Okay.
Sorry,
Yes.
we skipped the question.
Yes. I apologize. To the listener,
Sort of.
Nathan Bill 977. I believe you posted on the
TikTok.
Theater of the Mind Presents Retribution's TikTok, and you asked, how do you feel about the new subclass for the Artificer that allows you to be Frankenstein, basically? And I'll be honest with you, I don't really know any of the new Artificer mechanics for 2024. But I'm curious if anyone on the table knows.
We don't touch 24 much. We are strictly 2014 at this table. The little bit I know about it is, Artificers were already a pretty game-breaking class. 2024 made all characters way the hell more powerful. And unless they nerf the Artificer, I'm sure you could do some just absolutely insane shit.
Yeah.
They did bring the monsters up. The monsters have
Okay.
a lot more to them. The monsters hit harder and have new things too. But
See, as I think about characters a lot, and Frankenstein is always something that I kind of wanted to play with flavor-wise for a character, but Artificer I don't think was ever the direction I was going to go for that. So I haven't personally looked into it, but I think it's an interesting concept, and I think that would be fun to play with, but,
the science behind necromancy instead of the magic behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have like a half question, half answer. Because here's what I have in my head of what Frankensteining means. Right? Like you got to kind of piece your character together in different fashions.
Frankenstein the doctor, I think.
Okay.
Not
Yeah.
Frankenstein
Not the monster. Okay.
Yeah.
So that doesn't
So-
give my idea much
so it
credence
would
because it
be,
sounds really interesting in my head.
You would be Dr.
a
Frankenstein
construct.
making
Okay.
a guy.
Say again.
You would be Dr. Frankenstein making a guy, basically.
Okay.
You would have like a little guy that you made.
So your powers are science necromancy
Oh.
instead of magic necromancy, basically.
Yeah.
That sounds really fun.
It's
In
kind
my
of like-
opinion,
what is
but
it
I
called?
don't know a lot
Techno-
about that
yeah,
particular
Technomancer?
character.
That's a technology magician.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with the 2024 rules or the Artificer. All I know is that over the years, Artificer is a class that's been tried in multiple editions of D&D, And as far as I've been able to find out, it's come in one of two flavors, ridiculously weak with a lot of flavor or overpowered. I know that they're always trying to nail that class because it's the class that everybody wants to see. But as of yet, I don't know. Now, there may be other game systems that they may have nailed an Artificer for game balance. I just know that in D&D, I think 2nd through all the way up to 5th, I've never heard of anybody nailing the class for balance. Either it's overpowered or it's underpowered. So hopefully they get it and get it nailed this time, because I know it's a lot of people would like that class.
Yeah, and so a lot of DMs don't allow artificers at the table. At their tables. On my tables, I do allow artificers, but that's because the world my characters are playing in, artificers are a core element of it. So it adds some cool lore components, but they can be such an imbalanced character as a DM. It can be difficult to find that balance sometimes.
So they okay. Can they be like multi-class? Is that the issue, or like what makes it kind of OP?
They're able to bring things into your world through science they can make guns.
Okay.
Yeah.
So instead of like the
big-ass
medieval
bombs.
/ magical elements, they can bring in like an A-bomb or like a helicopter or a jet.
Yeah.
I think part of the balance
Okay, I can see why they could be OP.
I'm thinking the balance problem on it is D&D esque, Pathfinder, Starfinder, those type. They are in fact a resource management game. In fact, that's what they are. Okay. You've got hit points you have to manage. You've got spell slots. The problem with an artificer is somebody that can build something day in and day out. You don't run into now you have a theoretically infinite resource that you can reproduce over and over and over and over again, which in reality is how the world works. The problem is trying to balance it in a limited mechanical game system that it's based around the scarcity of resources, something that can create a durable good that continues, and then you can build another one, and then another one, and another one. I think that's the trouble with trying to balance the Artificer class, and I personally believe that's probably why they haven't been able to nail it, is it just doesn't fit the heroic fantasy trope that D&D is built around.
Yeah, I can only cast Fireball 3 times, but you got a Fireball cannon.
Yeah.
That doesn't...
Every time you reload it, you can shoot.
Yeah.
I think that's the problem. I think that's why that class is a very difficult one to get nailed down. If you nerf it enough to get under the resource management system where it has to be to not break the game,
then it becomes underpowered.
Then it's underpowered and underwhelming, like, oh, well, this kind of sucks.
It's kind of
all you got to do is
Blizzard.
sleep to get your Fireballs back. I have to manufacture fucking grenades.
Yeah.
It's quite an ask. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have the right resources. There's no gunpowder. There's no shrapnel. Yeah.
So I hope that I hope they nail it. I hope they get it.
Me too.
I know that I wouldn't be capable of building that class balanced, so I hope somebody else can.
That sounds really interesting, though.
be
I do
fun.
like the idea of it. Like, and again, as a new player, I don't know a lot about them, but it sounds really fun.
It is objectively a very cool
Yeah.
concept.
Just
Yeah.
puts more work on the DM's plate than some... When a DM's already got a lot of things to juggle, some of them just decide that's one thing too many, stick with core characters. And to my understanding, this class isn't out yet in the 24. Is that correct?
Yeah, I don't know too much about the 2024, but I don't think the Artificer was one of the base classes in the 2024 handbook.
It's a DLC.
The guy who
Oh,
owns
it's
every
coming?
book
Okay.
D&D has released is telling me it's not out yet. It's on pre-order, but it's not out
You
yet.
need to be on the mic there, Clayton. Get in here.
No, it's okay.
Okay.
I was gonna ask if you had any insight on it too, because you've read more of the 2024 stuff than any of the rest of us.
And it's literally bought every book.
Oh, okay.
All of them.
Maniac.
For 5th, 2014 and 24.
All right.
So the second question that was posed by forgot your tag name, Nathan Bell 977, was do you all think that the druid should be an intelligence-based class instead of a wisdom-based class? Thank you for your questions.
The reasoning he gave was because nature is an intelligence skill. not a wisdom-based skill, and they are the nature people.
Yeah.
That
I never thought about
kind of makes
that.
sense then.
Oh, go ahead.
But yeah.
I was looking it up. I do know that in the design of 5th edition, that was a conscious decision by the designers to make it happen. When you read through the skill list, the reason that is not is because the rest of the nature-based skills are wisdom-based, which is why the druid is a wisdom caster. Honestly, it would be if I was running, and this is where D&D in any tabletop game at all is amazing. If a rule doesn't make sense for your table, change it.
Okay.
In my opinion, my game, if somebody wanted to play a druid and they said, but the fact that nature's an intelligence and that's not one of my high stats for a druid, can I put my wisdom as my modifier to nature checks because of my druid? I say, oh yeah, absolutely. Makes perfect sense. So never hesitate at your table to make those little tweaks to make it make sense. Because I would. I understand why intelligence is a nature check, but for that one, if it doesn't work at your table, just change it and say, yeah, I'll base your druid nature is based off of off your wisdom score instead. I wouldn't change the class because if you look at the other intelligence skills, it doesn't make sense for a druid to also be really good at arcana and history and some of the other stuff that's intelligence based. So.
And druids can be heavy hitter healers.
Yes.
Medicine is wisdom.
And medicine, insight,
And
so the
survival.
wise druid. I wouldn't change the classes, no. But if that particular little thing is a hang up at your table, just change it.
But that's also where like proficiency kind of helps balance that for a
Yes.
lot of those. Like the proficiency helps fill those gaps. If your character is proficient in something, you automatically get a bonus in it.
Yep.
So even though your intelligence might not be that high, you still have a basis of understanding of nature. You still get that proficiency in nature if you take it. You don't.
Sure.
And I believe that's one of the go-to proficiencies.
Yeah.
Just kind of balance that. That makes sense.
Yeah, because a druid that...
They should know things about nature.
Yeah, they should.
Yeah, a druid that doesn't take proficiency in nature because they took intelligence as a dump stat, so they're trying to optimize. So to me, a druid that's not proficient in nature is like a cleric that's not proficient in religion. It's like it doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
So again, that
happens, though.
particular tweak, I wouldn't for a moment at my table hesitate to. I'd just change it and say,
Yeah.
yeah, just make that a wisdom for your druid.
It's-
But again, I wouldn't change the whole classes. I wouldn't rewrite classes because your balance will fall apart if you try that.
Yeah.
There's on a slightly different but kind of related note, I thought a lot about sorcerers before I started playing one, and I almost asked about making Emery a constitution-based sorcerer instead of charisma, because constitution is like the energy, the self. It comes from your body. It comes from like that is your fortitude. So the spell casting is coming from that willpower and fortitude and whatnot. Ultimately, I decided against it because I didn't want to make things complicated on a character level for Shock's first game running.
And having that heavy
And I
duty
would've
of a
had to-
magic person with a lot of hit points, you'd run into some ugly balance
There'd be some
issues
balance
down the
issues
road.
too.
Yeah.
But,
because making your con save for your con
Well,
saves for
yeah.
concentration.
You already get
Oh, yeah.
advantage on that as a sorcerer.
Oh.
So
And so adding con is, it would be
yeah.
tricky.
So I would have basically had to redo the entire class, which was also a lot of work, but it was a concept I came across that I thought was really interesting for a sorcerer class. It would be really interesting to have a constitution-based spellcaster. Mm-hmm. But charisma makes sense too, but, yeah.
Yeah, as soon as you put I'm looking at Sadie's character sheet. She's a druid, and I built her out completely. Yeah, because she took the proficiency in nature, even though it's intelligence, it's just as good as her wisdom is for medicine.
Okay.
Now, obviously, like Jeremy mentioned, you shouldn't dump stat intelligence for a druid if you want them to be good at nature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But her build, she's a +2 in both int and wisdom because that's just what makes sense for her build. She is a book nerd, good student who knows some shit about plants and now can magic plants.
Yeah. Yeah.
Plants, magic
That's a good question. That's a good question, and I hope these answers helped.
Yeah, thanks for asking.
I'm learning. That was very interesting,
It's
honestly.
definitely
I like
fun
that kind
to
of
think
conversation.
about
Yeah.
like what these skills mean
Yeah.
and where that comes from. I think about that kind of stuff a lot too.
I built my barbarian kind of shitty, but it's first time
First
player.
build.
First
Yeah.
character, man.
Why does he need charisma at all? I don't know. It sounded fun, So
It's for the singing, for the decapitation.
exactly. That's his inner bard speaking through.
Because it gives you a really fucking baller intimidation.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. It did help my intimidation a lot. It's like a +4, I think.
Wow.
Olnok is scary.
Big ass baldy with an axe. Yeah. Makes sense.
I love that I have a
Who
plus
seems to
4
be
to my
getting bigger.
intimidation.
Yeah, I know, right?
So we are actually on our final question now. What advice would you guys give to a new player? And the second piece is, what advice would you give to a dungeon master?
Okay.
Well, you're going to have to come see us on September 19th and 20th this year at Comic-Con to get those real answers, because we're going to be doing a bunch of panels on this exact topic.
Yes, we will.
I will not be on said panel, so I will give a little bit of feedback being a new player myself. Don't be afraid to ask questions. If you don't understand what's going on or you don't really understand the mechanic that's happening right now, I picked Barbarian kind of because it was my first campaign and I knew that was a relatively simple character to navigate. So, you could start with like a Barbarian or a Fighter, something that doesn't have a lot of different things that need to be moving in sequence. Because like spells would make me very confused at first.
Yeah.
So maybe avoid something with a lot of spell slots.
Don't have your first character be a fucking sorcerer.
Right.
Or a wizard.
Do not make a first
Probably
character
not the
wizard.
best first character to do, but if you got the moxie to go for it,
My
send it,
first
dude.
one was
See
a
if you can
fucking
do it. Pull it off.
draconic sorcerer. I didn't learn how to play him until like fucking the 5th session.
Yeah. Just because it's going to be hard doesn't mean it's not going to be fun. Give it a shot. If you feel like you can be creative,
It worked for
try it.
Kildrake's character.
It did work for Killdrake. I made him dumb, so I stood a chance of hanging out there. But
That's what I think. Don't be afraid to just try things. And you can always ask questions. There's going to be probably more experienced players on the panel, playing the game with you. Especially the DM. I imagine the DMs are going to be pretty knowledgeable, regardless of whether it's their first time or not. They have to read a lot of stuff to learn how to DM. I would imagine, right? Like
there's a lot of rules.
There's a lot of rules and a lot of things going on, and you can always look it up, right? Like you can Google it. You can find the manuals. There's a lot of different resources that you can take. Just go in there, have an open mind, try to learn some things, hope you do a good job, and if you don't, well, your character died. Try again, right?
Yeah, that builds character.
Yeah. That's my favorite dad joke he's come up with so far. That one right there.
as a 5-second answer, like as a DM, you don't have to know everything.
Yeah.
It's okay to not know everything. Be open about it. And if you make a wrong call, correct it later.
Right.
As a player, you don't have to know everything. Tell your DM what you're trying to do, and they can help guide you through the rules to accomplish said thing.
That is true. I did that a couple of times. Right. That was very helpful.
That's the best way to learn is just
Yeah.
say, I'm trying to do this.
Yeah.
And the GM will say, okay, here's what you need to roll,
Yeah.
here's what you need to add.
Don't ask your DM, should I make this roll? Because then if the DM wasn't planning on making you roll,
will
now
know.
he's totally going to make you roll.
Hey, that's a good idea. You should roll for
Actually,
this.
now
I'm
that you
curious.
mention
Let's try
it,
that.
go
I
ahead
would have
and
given
do
it for
that.
free, but now that you asked.
Yeah, pretty
I think
much.
I almost
That's-
watched jumping through a stained glass window doing
Yep.
that.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to need to make it. Actually, I was going to let you have it, but yeah, go
Oh, yeah,
roll.
you're right. That would be hard. Okay.
So for me, advice to new players: your first character, you're gonna botch. So don't build your dream character the first one. And remember, it's just marks on paper.
Yeah.
It's not it. And go do what you want to do. And if your character gets cold, cool. Tear up your sheet. Don't remake the new one. Make a new character. After you've built a couple and played a little bit, then build your dream character. Number one. And then the other one, don't get caught in the mechanics. I want to make an acrobatics roll. Just tell the DM, hey, I want to jump over that chair and swing off the chandelier and then try to kick that guy in the face. Let the DM tell you what rolls the DM wants from you. Mm-hmm. Because if you go, well, I want to make an acrobatics check to try to step 3 feet and then launch 150 pounds. As a DM, I'm like, what are you trying to accomplish?
Right.
To just don't get stuck in the mechanics. This is what I want. This is what I want my character to do. DM, you tell me what you want me to roll for. DMs, don't get stuck in the rules. It's supposed to be fun.
Yes.
Fun is when you're, and failing is not fun. So just remember, if the table is having fun and everybody's having fun, you're DMing correctly. Don't worry if you're not following the rules. Do you want to jump off the chair, swing off the chandelier? Sure. Actually, that's cool. You do that. I think it looks cool. I'll give you advantage on the attack. Just
Really
because that's a cool thing. Or give me an acrobatics roll. If you roll high, I'll give you extra damage or something. Just roll with it. Don't spend 10 minutes looking up the rules for it.
Yeah.
Just sure, that's cool. Give me this roll and just roll. And if everybody's laughing and having fun, you did it right.
And sometimes it can be hilarious with that nat one.
Yeah. Yep. You just eat shit on your own shoelaces.
Exactly.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
The nat ones are fun sometimes. It's like,
And
well, that went
don't
horribly
split the
wrong.
party.
Don't do that.
No, we're like, seriously, don't
do it.
split the
It's
party.
like a horror movie, y'all. Don't split up. You stay
Just
together.
don't split the party. Just don't do it. It never turns out well.
You guys
People
will
end up in weird
I
places.
think it's very entertaining.
There's
personally,
near-death
but
experiences, and
it kind of ratchets up the tension.
Oh yeah.
It is
I find
entertaining,
it
but
fun.
every time we've done that so far, somebody's almost
It's
died
terrifying,
every
but it's
single time.
fun.
there.
We had a
I
very
mean,
intense game of Go Fish.
when whole groups of the party go off to do something because it thematically makes sense, it'll probably end badly, but it can work. When one person wanders off to go do their own thing
Oh,
because
that's
they thought it
different.
was
That's
cooler,
different.
that's not cool. No one's having fun. No one likes to be the only person at the table playing.
Kildrake got jumped by a vampire doing that.
Yes.
That's
So,
it.
I
if
believe-
fuck around with this pile of boring. I'm gonna go look through this door. Oh no!
Anybody who's played for any length of time has learned that the hard way at least once.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a player once have to take on 3 mimics by himself because
Oh.
he walked away
Yeah, don't
from the party.
don't
It was
wander off.
fun. That character did
Yeah,
not
you learn
last
some
long.
hard lessons sometimes.
Yeah, no, sometimes they are hard lessons.
My advice to everyone generally is it is a game. It's supposed to be fun. If you are not having fun, either you need to address the thing that's making you not have fun, or you need to move on and do something else.
Yeah, it's not the DM's job is not to kill the players unless you're running Tube of Annihilation
Or Murder House.
or Murder
Or
House.
Murder House.
It's supposed to be fun for all of us, including the DM. The DM is juggling a lot of things, but it's also like the player's job to make sure the DM is having fun. Like it is a team effort for all of us to have fun. And if there's a problem, you got to address it because it's a game. And it should be fun.
And a good rule of thumb is no D&D is better than bad D&D.
Yes.
If it's bad, walk.
Yep.
It's not worth suffering through it just because you feel like you have to.
Even when it's a
Deal
game
with it
happening
or
in your
leave.
own house and you have to awkwardly hide in another room for 3 hours
Well,
every
if I
other
guess
week.
it's done, I don't want to be here anymore.
But I think another piece of advice you don't hear very often is D&D is the most well-known game.
Right.
It's not the only
Oh, God,
one.
no.
Pick the game based off the type of table you want to have.
Yes.
D&D is going to be goofy. Period. It's going to be goofy. It's really hard to play off a nat 1 super failure at a key moment without it being goofy.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen. If we're making it work because the marketing, D&D is the most well-known game. I want people to listen to us. We're playing D&D in a horror setting. This isn't the best game for a horror setting. Call of Cthulhu's better for this. This isn't the setting you want to play if you're wanting to do a weird Western. There's games for that. If you want to be total slapstick goofy, there's better games for that. D&D's just a good starting ground.
There's
I recommend
superpowers
picture dice
games
for
that
goofy.
people will do D&D as, don't do Marvel comics. And it just doesn't handle it well.
No.
There are mechanical systems made for it. Sci-fi in space, totally better systems. Match your system to the type of game you want to run. It's absolutely worth exploring it. There's hundreds, if not thousands, of
Yeah,
other
I was gonna say
systems.
there is a wealth of like independent creators online that make systems for situations you can't even conceive of.
And they can get as crunchy as you want. Starfinder gets crunchy. Warhammer 40K can take hours just to set up the table to begin playing.
Really?
Yeah.
And it can get as easy as you have 2d6, that's all you roll the whole game, and you make it work.
Okay.
So there's a game out there for you. If D&D is an okay boilerplate, everybody knows it.
And it's a good entry point because you can usually find a group that's running
Find
it.
a lot of people.
It's a lot easier to find someone playing it, but yeah. And on that note, a couple of recommendations for places to find these games. We've talked about a couple of the creators a lot on here. James D'Amato and his podcast One Shot, which is run by Dillon. I can't remember their last name.
And Cole Sprouse.
No, no.
Plot twist.
There's a new host of the One Shot podcast. I only remember that their first name is Dillon, but they highlight a lot of games. They do short one shots of each game, so it's like 4 episodes of a game, and then the next 4 episodes are a different game. They've been running for like 12 years or something like that. They've got a lot of games in their backlog, so if you're looking for anything like vibe-wise, you can usually find something in their backlog. And then the other one is Party of One by Jeff Stormer. We played his Mission Accomplished game on our bonus podcast.
Plug for our Patreon. Come listen.
Yeah,
It was Mission Impossible when you guys played it.
it was. It was a very fun game to play. He's
was
written
fun.
several others, which are very cool too. And he runs a podcast called Party of One, which similarly they run through. He focuses on indie creators, and he will have a guest. It'll be a 2-player game every episode, and they will play a game. Each episode is a different game, so it's really easy to kind of burn through and get a sense for a lot of different games that way. And again, he's been running, I want to say, 7 or 8 years. So there is
Plenty
a
of
deep
stuff to listen to,
backlog
yeah.
of hundreds upon hundreds of episodes. And like I said, each episode is a different game. So you can find something that will suit what you're looking for.
And as a reminder, just to keep plugging, James D'Amato is the guy who writes the Ultimate RPG Campfire Card Deck, which is where our start of the episode questions have been coming from. And it's intended to be a supplement to a D&D campaign. We have time to role play. I don't know. Here's a question. Pull it out of the box. Ask the question. We're bending it to our needs. The game is really intended to be a supplement for a campaign.
Yeah, it's the campfire card deck because these are the things that might come up around the campfire between your characters.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Downtime activities, or what are you doing on your watch, or those periods of time is what this is intended for.
Yeah.
We're bending it a little bit.
Yeah.
But they're really interesting questions.
He also has a book series, the Ultimate RPG
Oh, that's
series.
him?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
that is
James
him?
D'Amato. So he's got the ultimate. It's the GM guide, and there's a character backstory guide which helps you flesh out your characters. That one's fun. I run through some of the exercises in that sometimes. And then there's another one that I can't remember the name.
Did he do the one with traps and stuff?
Yeah, they've got.
No, that's
That's a different-
different,
That's a different
but
okay,
related
sorry.
people.
Yeah.
They're in this. They were in the same podcast network as him for a while.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Okay.
Media
Really?
Lab books.
And Jeff Stormer just did an Ultimate RPG book too
Nice.
on character building.
Yeah,
world-
the Game
world
Masters
building, I think.
series of books are awesome.
That's the one I
Yeah.
was thinking of.
We
Yeah.
use the Game Masters book of Astonishing Random Tables a lot. That's
Yep.
where our
That's
Wild
yeah.
Magic
No,
tables coming
his
from.
is the Ultimate Game Masters guide
Okay.
or Ultimate RPG guide. It's a different series than what you're
Gotcha.
thinking of.
I-
I have a couple of them if you ever want to borrow them, but
I've been reading the Game Master's Guide to Proactive Role Playing,
Yeah.
which has and who's
By
the
Fischl?
who's by Official, right? That's an incredible resource that's really shaping how I
Fischl Brothers.
how I both DM and how I both play. It's such a wonderful and concise book.
yeah.
And its forward is written by fellow Colorado content creator Ginny D. Mm-hmm. She's on the Tickety Talks.
Yeah. There's a lot of awesome.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of other recommendations in my brain, but those are the relevant ones to me.
Well, and like what you said, Kasey, if you're interested in meeting us in person and learning more, we will be at the Grand Junction Comic Con September 19th and 20th.
Possibly have a booth. Definitely doing some sort of panels.
Yeah.
Come by, listen. It'll be fun. Come say hey. And I just want to take a moment to say thanks, Dillon, for hosting this episode.
Thanks
Yeah,
for
thank you very
letting
much.
thanks for letting me have a shot behind the mic. I appreciate it, y'all.
Yeah, it's good to finally get you on here.
Thank you for all your scribe work.
Yes.
Even though we never get to see
even
it.
though we're never allowed to see it.
You can't see my notes; they're not volume. Right? Like,
And we will.
It's coming, guys.
He's got a big project that he's working on behind the scenes. We will have a character or a podcast wiki coming out.
oh, nice.
With a character compendium, all sorts of good stuff. It's a work in progress. It might take a minute, but
Yeah.
we will
it's-
keep you posted on that as it gets closer.
It-
Look
it-
forward to
Tell me
learning
more
about
about
myself.
myself.
Yeah, it's a
How does someone else describe it? Yeah.
That was weirdly synonymous.
yeah,
Unanimous.
it's a hefty project, but for our Patreon subscribers, hopefully that'll be something to look forward to, or that will be something to look forward to. And if you're interested, become a Patreon subscriber.
Pretty please. We have like 12 hours of bonus content you have access to. You get early release episodes fairly consistently when I remember to do that. But they're ad free. You get access to the side quest where we have my brother added onto the quest.
Say hi, Clay.
Hi.
In the background, all quiet.
And then Bernal, Downs, and Kasey are on there as well, playing completely different characters in the same world, following Mel's dad across the desert on some horses with names.
Oh yes.
We
I
don't remember what they
all
are.
were.
It felt good to get
I
out
named mine
of
Glue,
the
if I
rain.
recall.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, half of them are glue.
Oh, that's sick.
No, we had to re-record the episode, and Clay
Oh, yeah,
stole
they're
the
not
name
glue.
Glue.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah, freaking Clay.
So you
his
named
Glue.
yours Elmer.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
I was
right.
gonna say, so what? You had glue and gelatin and binding and
Oh my gosh, I haven't listened to the latest bonus
I
content.
mean,
Yeah, it's pretty good.
But, yeah, thank you very much. And next episode, we will be back to our standard normal content.
But back on the plains.
Correct.
Yep.
Or but on the
Starting
plains.
the new arc, the plains.
The Flatlands.
And thanks for the questions. Anybody who sent those in, honestly,
thank you very much.
that's
Yes,
really,
thank
really
you.
awesome.
Yes,
that
thank
y'all
you,
sent some
Tyler.
stuff in.
Thank you, TikTok user
Nathan?
Nathan
Nate?
something.
Sorry, Nathan.
We did say the name.
Nathan Bill 977. Thank you,
Nathan Bell.
Nathan Bill 977.
Thank you both very much, and thanks for sticking around. Nope.
Yeah.
Theater of the Mind presents Retribution as Dillon Giles as your host. Amanda Arfsten as Mel Kelly. Jeremy Arfsten as Elliot Brandybane. Michael Bernal as Ulnach Varger Johnson. Michael Downs as James O'Brien. Kasey Weingarten as Emery Lee. And myself, Mike Schock, as your Dungeon Master. We release episodes every 2 weeks, so our next episode will drop on August 3rd. But considering that is International Psychics Day, you already knew that. If you want to follow us, our social media and website can be found on our link tree, which can be found in the podcast description. Also in the podcast description, you can find a link to Pinecast, as well as our referral code to get you 40% off your first 4 months of a paid membership. As well as our referral link to Epidemic Sound, which gets you a 1-week trial period to their excellent platform. Typically, they are where we source our soundtracks from, but we did not use their services this week. The Theater of the Mind theme, ad break, and outro were written by Mike Schock. This is a work of fiction. Names, characters, places, and incidents either are products of our collective imagination or are used in a fictitious manner. Any resemblance to actual events, places, or people, living or dead, is entirely coincidental.